Welcome back to the Red Wagon Inn, everybody. We're so excited, and all of the players are so terrified because we have a 10-episode recap this week because it is episode 11 of season 2. So thankful for you all sticking around. We have such cool things ready for you on this episode and many more to come. We have some great art, and we have an amazing giveaway by the Moonbeam Menagerie Serenity, who is just awesome and has been a guest on the show before. So huge thank you to her, and we'll get on that in just a minute. But before we start on any of the amazing bits of art that we have here and the terror that will befall the players, because I'm thinking that since there's 10 episodes to recap here, I might give 5 inspos for a good recap, but 5 GFYs for a bad one for all 10.
Ooh.
I think that's a fair...
I'm rolling a 1.
No!
I'm exposed.
You know,
I
I'm
feel
like
like-
the only one that doesn't want to do it, and I'm 100% going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
It should be 5 GFYs for everyone, Rybo. Hello? Because we all could have helped out and done it.
Thank you. You know what, Jakey? I like
you,
your
Chris.
idea better. So 5 GFYs for everybody if whoever gets it doesn't step up and get it.
Brie.
No
Step
pressure.
up.
Brie, you've had to do 8 of the last 10, I think. So you've got this.
I don't think I've got inspiration for any of them.
You have. I've given them. But before we get started on that, do we have anything that we need to shill before we get started? Because, you know, we... Drew?
Drew first.
Okay, it'll be really quick. I have marked down every remaining set on my shop to $100 or less, which means a lot of the sets are like $45 off right now. So I know there were a lot of people waiting till they had some extra money. Now's your chance because they're going to be gone soon. And the pre-order slots are still open till Friday at midnight Eastern Standard. So if you want to hop on that, I'd recommend doing it before you never see them again. That's it.
Buy that stuff from our sponsor, Dicey Encounters, who has sponsored, what, like 4 of the past 10 episodes. So it's great. Glad to
Maybe
have you
even
back
10
here
or
for a
10.
10th one.
What are you going to be shilling next week? Are you going to just be like, hi, I'm Drew, you can buy me?
if
We'll purchase
there's
Drew.
a sugar mama out there, please.
Please.
Sugar Mom?
I am open.
BS, I'm done here. Watch enough of this show.
Oh, awesome. Well, we have some cool pieces of art, all of them actually by the Sunday Bar, and I'm going to put them over everybody's face here because every
You
single
missed
person...
my art again.
Oh.
I didn't miss
You
your
missed-
art again.
You also
Oh,
missed something
okay.
else
What did
for the shills.
Oh, did I miss a shill? Well, that's why
Hi.
I'm concerned and biological about it.
I raised my hand and was like, hello.
Let me just make
Then I
the
said Drew first.
Ordell concern bigger, and we'll just block you
You are
out.
not Drew. You're not Drew. You don't get to sell anything. This is just
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I'm not selling something. I was just going to say this Friday, come watch D and Doodles at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. I'll draw your Dungeons and Dragons characters, and you can give like $2 and get a cool token. I drew all the ones here that you can see on the show. They're pretty cool. So I was just going to say, come watch that, because it's been like almost 3 weeks since I've done it.
Do it. Jakey
If you
needs
give
money
me
so he can get a
$100.
new monitor.
Yeah, because my last monitor crapped out. So if anyone's randomly like, yo, I'm a rich monitor person, and you wanted to send me a monitor, that's great. But I don't want the lizard kind. Actually, I do. Send me both.
I know a guy who swaps monitors like that, so I got you. Whichever one you get. We also...
Oh, God.
I mean, I'm also open
No
to free
comment.
shit.
Not me,
I
don't you
think
dare.
we all are.
Some more stuff. Drew, awesome cup, Rybo Dad says. Another
Oh,
piece of
thanks.
art, which, by the way, happens to be my favorite piece of... Ooh, that is a good cup. Favorite piece of art from the Sunday Bar. I don't know why. It just speaks to me on some other level here. It's just good stuff. But
It's gonna
then...
come into play tonight, isn't it?
No, I didn't already confirm that in the Red Wagon art section. But as we pull up a few other things here, because Alex, I did actually not do your art because I thought we did it in the break last time. So we will do it in the
We
break
did
this
the other
time.
one that you forgot in the break last
That's
time.
right. See, I remembered that one. So, you know, we'll do this one during the break next time. I just can't pull it up while I have Discord up with all of these beautiful faces on it. But we have other things of art which I can't show just yet because they're all the notes. And so whoever's doing the recap, I will pop open all of Jakey's notes here for you to not be able to see, but it'll be after you say them so that there's no help there. But I did like what Words said, and I'll take that. That seems fair. 5 GSYs for everybody for a bad recap, 5 inspos to the winner for a good one, and 5 GSYs to me for a good one. I'll take that bet. I'm good for that.
Ooh.
So with that, let's roll for recap. And as we're rolling, I'm going to show this week's giveaway, which is the Life on Mars set by Moonbeam Menagerie Serenity.
good.
What?
It's amazing.
Oh, so good. Yes, it is so good. And the only thing which somebody pointed out, it's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and the book behind it. I was 1,000% looking for the one with the Matt Damon, the new Mars movie one. What am I talking about? You know,
Martian?
Yeah, The Martian. I was totally reading it like, I bet this is The Martian, but you know, the Hitchhiker's Guide is pretty good too. But yes, absolutely beautiful set. Go Moonbeam Menagerie. Go check them out because we have one of them here. And then also go check out the Dice Damsel Serenity because that's Serenity who made it. So rolling for dice. Jackie, what'd you get? 17.
I haven't rolled yet. Okay, ready? Yep. Oh, that's a 2.
Oh.
Fuck.
Those...
I got an 11, but I didn't know we were doing dice cam.
Oh, I
Might
just
as well.
figured this is like a
It's a tough
We
moment.
should so do that. I can re-roll mine.
Wait, are we re-rolling?
Look, you know
Yeah,
what?
I'll re-roll mine.
With the 2, I will gladly re-roll mine for sake of posterity. Oh, there it went over there somewhere.
Probably
Oh,
change
a
the-
6. Darn, what might have been.
Are we
Oh,
re-rolling?
same number again. Cool.
Yeah, re-roll.
Really?
it. 3. Ooh,
I just
Yeah,
have
I
to
got a
get-
3. That's why I was
Oh,
dead silent because
nice.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a recap, but no, just a 3.
11.
I'll roll again though.
Can I,
No,
I
that
just
time
have
that
to
was nat 20.
11.
Alex,
turn on some
18.
lighting.
18. So,
Twice.
Jackie.
Waste of an 18.
Hi
Twice.
everyone, how's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing well. I'm
No
just
pressure,
gonna
Jakey.
just turn off that light. Hey, wasn't I gone? Wait, was I gone for 2 of them?
Yep, so this will be fun for you.
Okay, all right, boys and girls, and anyone else, you just sit down and buckle in. Last we left off.
No, not last we left off.
What?
From the beginning.
Oh, on my brother's birthday. We started on my brother's birthday.
That's right.
Yeah, the year. The year is currently 4150. In Ludrith, outside Lichenford. We meet Emerald Ghoulcrest. Oh wait, no we don't. She was why do I have it? Oh no, because we went in a alright, anyways, we'll just okay. Shoot.
Off to a great
Nuggets.
start.
Great start. Alright. So apparently here you go. We cross a wall and the first note I has cross wall, blood magic dagger to see if east is good. Go through forest, find zombie impaled in tree. Ordale cuts tree down. Ordale cuts tree down and to get zombie out. All right. And then a woman runs by camp. Emma screams in her brain to freak her out. But then she says she came from the ocean and that there are raiders. It's been days or weeks since they last had water. And that town that they overrun by raiders is Novi. Oh, and the woman's name is Marigold Elowin. That's all the notes that I have on episode 1.
That is not episode.
This is not episode 1. I specifically okay. Jackie remembers us. Okay, so it's Ordell, right? Ordell minding his own business in his little Ordell camp, kind of a junkyard. Winter and I are there, and we're like looking past, and we make the joke about touch the butt. No, you touch the butt. And then Winter's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then she goes and gonna touch his butt, but not really. It's just gonna go in. No, Ordell, don't judge me like that. But we converse with Ordell, and I forget if he thinks we broke in or not. However, while talking and conversing, XE is in the junk pile, and then XE comes to life and starts to say his XE binary code words, non-biological things, basically. And then somewhere along, I'm being nosy, and I get a ring instead of Winter, even though it should have been Winter. And then in this ring, boom, I wear it. I put it in my pocket first, then I wear it, and then boom, Emma pops out. And I try to do the thing again to see if it just triggers her to come in and out, but it doesn't. However, Emma just starts to go inside whenever she feels like it, which pisses me off. And then we get captured at Ordell's camp. I forget by who. And Ordell kind of blames us, and he thought we brought the bad guys to his camp, which we didn't, but we kind of did. No, we did not, Ordell. No, we did not. We did not. And then we get captured, we go to the wall, and then we are like, you know what? We wanted to go anyways. So we go to the wall anyways, and we cross, and then we're like, okay, Winter, since you wanted to be here the most out of everybody, like, where do you want to go? And then we cut to my notes. So for some reason, my notes just missed the first half of everything, but we get the second half. And you know what? My memory actually helped me out there. So thank you, memory. That is episode 1.
Hit me the highlights on the next 9. What else we got? What were the main events?
All right. So Emma has a puppet named Ruckus. Winter fireballs raiders at well, annihilates them. Emma spares dying on 1, and then XC shoots him. XC starts to learn bad words. Oh, 1 involves 2 dwarves, a rolling pin, and 14 more people, which we will experience next time there are enough people.
You're getting close.
There's a getting close. We kind of skipped the first time it happened, actually. But anyways, there is a bony giant that walks past in the forest where we just were, which turns out to be a storm giant resurrected. Zania has a necklace with cage in it, is a tiefling that is skin and bone. That's highlights from episode 2. Moving on, episode 3. Sorry, guys, I'm going to be talking a lot. You'll be tired of my voice by the time this is done. Okay, but at least it'll be my Ashrin voice and not my Jakey voice. Okay. Next up we have, we get chased by the undead storm giant, autonomous mechanical individual. Oh, XC's preferred description. The crew was about to ditch me. Thanks, you guys. Cool. And then we experience the Black Archer for the first time. I have the notes. Master Huntsman with superior aim hits Raider in heart. An ebony arrow. Up. All of that. Oh. And then Emma shops for new jaw. Also in here. Oh, and then we have Merkel. Name Emma whispers as she casts gentle repose. That's what I have for episode 3. Okay, moving on to episode 4. Then don't think about it too hard. Okay, episode 4. Let's see. Ordell was about to hand us a potion, but an elf slashes his arm and Ordell drops it, our very last potion. Ordell then, rightfully so, bashes his head in, and XC gives the code to kill somebody. Cool. Then we have Tadage's crew, aka also the raiders that we've been hearing a lot about. And then Emma becomes catatonic. Ordell rub heart the Emma eyes. Nope. Emma yells and retreats into ring. Nope, don't know what that means, sorry. Tadage tells us to kill Black Archer. Oh, and then this is the thing where we go in and
this is the thing.
I forget all the exciting parts because I guess I'm so into the game, and then once all the it starts to cool down, I start to write everything. But I remember, was this the whole thing where we tried to go inside the town and we made such a bad mess about it? Yes, the tunnel, a fake tunnel. Winter did tunnel's not here, but it really is here. And then we were by the boxes. We go in, and then Winter decides to jump up by a window, and then the little kid screams, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, who the heck are they?" But then we get
I would do that because it was definitely Emma that jumped up in front of the window and not Winter.
It was Emma. That seems more like Emma. We get captured. We think we're screwed. However, Tadage then tells us to kill the Black Archer and he'll let us into NOV. Oh no, this was at the front. Oops, I'm jumping all around now. But anyways, Tadage tells us to kill the Archer. Then let's into NOV. Tadage is an asshole. Winter drinks blood tea. I get flashbacks? ? What is this? Emma drops picture. It's her crush. Crush came episode 4. Here we go, everybody. Winter puts picture of Emma's crush into journal, writes fan fiction. Oh, and this is the hole in the back and everything. All right, sorry for jumping around, everyone. Tatted, alive or dead, cross through building, not behind. And Ordell, this is just a bag I wear. Talking about his skin. October 24th is Ashman's Day. Okay, no, number 25. I totally said number 5, not 25. I totally said number 5 episode the summary last. So NOV, mile radius, wood guard towers, black archer hole marked with arrow, winter rolls natural 1, collapses hole. This is what I have, and then the thing with the boxes, etc., etc. And then we kind of escaped and we screwed everything over, and we kind of just running around town, and there were buildings collapsing as we saw from the outside. It was a hot mess. That's the highlight. It's a hot mess. Episode 5. Okay. Episode 6, I don't think I was here because I don't have anything on it. Oh. Is this where you turn my horse green? And the first thing I say, no? Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure the first thing I said when I came back was, hey, assholes. And then that got me like an inspiration. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got sucked into the ring, but I could still see everything. And you decided.
You don't know what happened? You don't watch the show, Jackie?
Excuse me, my horse got sacrificed, and that's how it got green, okay? I remember being all mad. I watched it, okay? But I think because I wasn't there to experience it, my memory isn't remembering. However, I watched it, and my horse got sacrificed, and the Black Archer did the thing, and you guys talking to me, putting me with Black Archer. It was a heavy Black Archer episode, okay? Yeah. Moving on. Yep, episode. This is all the notes I have for number 7. Ready? Inspo. Hello, motherfuckers. GFY. Arakakra? Inspo. Lie roleplay. That's all I got for episode 7, guys. Moving on, episode 8. Great, thanks. Let's not talk about it. Once more. All right. Oh. This is where this is where Winter became a queen. All right, you guys. This is like the latest arc. I'm just going to summarize the whole latest arc, episodes 8, 9, and 10, right now. Okay. Emma was a queen. We're in a mine. We're trying to escape. I'm her number 1 advisor. I'm kind of mad at Emma for hurting Ordell's feelings. Okay. Winter kind of lets the power get to her head. Okay. And there's a whole thing with the mine. I have a whole page about the minecart adventure, but I think I've been talking for too long now. So I'm going to go on, except Emma almost dies. Oh, and Emma and Ordell miss some type of treasure chest. 10 inspos wasted. That's my note. And then continuation of the arc. Raiders don't like to come into the forest. Ooh. We were talking about the Shatterkai, which is the shadowy elves in the Feywild. Also, Stardust, Ritter's partner's call sign. Oh, died by Raiders. Let's not talk about that right now. And then talking about Ritter, Ruckus becomes Emma's familiar. Ordell was risen by fire. Then we meet sea shanty man named Elijah, says Ordell is the answer to everything. What? Oh, and then I have Inspo. Verity. How do you spell the monster's name again? Me, Rybonator, in the chat. That's what got me an inspo. Thank you. I like to write how I get inspirations because it's funny to laugh back at, clearly, obviously. We fight darkness and stars, aka the Nargoleth. One becomes a boy, which severely shakes the Black Archer. Winter is set on fire to be healed, ? That's how we close episode 9. Ready? Episode 10 here. I'm finally almost done talking for a long time. I'm so sorry, you guys. Woo! We get the staff away from Winter. She's sad about it. She gets super heartbroken. That was like the only thing that gave her comfort. Warforged taken to destroy. Ordell is healed by oil and fire. Sorry, take that back, or step back a little bit. Winter now heals normally. So that's the upside of everything. But going back to Ordell's fire is hot, unlike Winter's. Ordell sees the vision of Wolf and goes into his chest. And then Ordell now comes back with a beating heart, and a symbol on his chest is hot. Coax and Medi are the healing Warforged. Praise the flames, ? Praise the flames. Ordell is the savior, ? Oh, and they want him to go north. And that is all I wrote, everybody.
That was amazing.
Drew, can you do
Yes?
that clap sound?
Very cool. Way to go.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry.
So good. Well,
That was actually
what?
even better, actually.
Your recap includes stream things, not just actual what happened in the story. Without much of what happened in the story, that was an interesting way to go about it. gotta admit.
It's a different 10 episode
Yeah.
recap.
Based
Can
on the
we
way
roll
you told it,
assistance?
I'm not super sure who the Black Archer is. I have no
I'm
clue
dying.
what each of you are or do, or what your individual kind of goals are. But that's just, that's normal. Nothing
This
about
is-
that has changed.
Already assumed.
Can we offer assistance and give like very quick highlights, like
Ooh.
1 sentence highlights for each of our characters
If
so
you
far?
all give
Or-
one sentence highlights for each of your characters, I will lessen the punishment.
Wait a second.
Or
Okay, so I
pop
did
quiz.
pop
Pop
quiz.
quiz.
I can
quiz?
Oh.
recap the whole 10 episodes in one sentence.
Do it.
All right.
You're just gonna say biologicals.
All right. Banished to land that we are attempting to navigate and run into multiple issues.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
spot on.
Actually, yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
okay,
good.
that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
into it.
Your dad and mom loved it, Rybo, so that's all that matters, I suppose.
Well, look, they made me. They can be wrong about things, okay?
Okay, ready? Here's all I have
It was
about
good.
our intros. Emerald Ghoulcrest, new line. 2 days of water and rations, new line. Winter Jones has famous parents? Question mark. Has a lot of money? Question mark.
Did you think I
that's
said
all I
I
have.
meant one sentence about each of the characters from you?
No, from each of us.
From each of
Redeem
you.
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I think we can all go. Like Jackie's got this.
Yeah. Oh man, that's Oh. Right. Winter, give me a 1-sentence explanation of you, then Ordell, then Emma, then Asherin.
Okay. Spoiled teen looking for dead people turns into no, there's a comma.
Okay.
Spoiled teen looking for dead people finds strange family, corrupted royalty.
Perfect. Ordell.
Single dad of a group of morons is lost in the wilderness.
Emma.
Undead woman who has 2 masters she doesn't want.
Asherin.
Just a regular elf that has paladin powers and a regular dagger that doesn't do any blood magic whatsoever.
East.
XC.
Biologicals. No. Robot sniper discovering that lying and being human can be a lot of fun.
Perfect. With
Hmm.
that, those are actually all very good. They're good. So I will lessen the punishment tremendously. Though, come on, Jackie, you gotta get some GFYs for that madness.
We got some good laughs. We got some good memories.
I'm gonna cancel out the GFYs for the other players. Jackie, you get 3.
Okay. Deserving. Yeah.
She
As long as
has
I don't
been
bring
taking
anyone else
notes.
down
Like,
with.
That's good, right?
You've been
Should we
taking
take
notes, but what of?
You've been taking notes at what cost?
Right.
Everything.
Okay, so last thing before we get started. So thank you, Jackie. Great performance, though inaccurate. We are planned to do a actual 10-episode recap in character soon. I think Emma is going to help me out with that. That will be posted as a little 5-minute video soon. So we're going to work on that at some point. Also, I'm asking something in chat here. I'm giving you 3 options: Dryad, Druid, and Mosshound. Reply to one of those in the chat. Let me know which one of those sounds like your absolute favorite. A Dryad, a Druid, or a Mosshound. Just curious what sounds greatest. Right. I think we're good to go with the recaps. Anybody have anything else before we get started 26 minutes in? Beautiful.
Wow, how
Wow. Right. Let's go ahead and
No.
get started. No. Grab a drink, pull up a chair, and come hang out with us as we continue where we left off. Last we looked, XC was out in a mighty thunderstorm at the top of the roof providing overwatch as Winter and Ashrin and Ritter were going to bed in the building where all of the other Paladins of the Flame currently are. Emma is in her ring, if I recall correctly, and away from other people. But Ordell, you are currently talking to a coal that is in your hand that has a face in the shape of a man. You've been asking it some questions. As you hear the loud, thunderous strikes outside the window, XC, you hear this as well, and especially since you're outside, it does give you some concern. One lightning strike hits somewhere that must be within a mile from your location. As the storm continues to approach from the shore and gets closer, you can hear the heavy waves lapping against the shore, and some of them crashing upon some of the wood that has been burned and thrown off from the buildings of Carthage here. Ordell, you are down in the cellar with the coal in your hand. You've been asking it questions. Is there anything else that you're wanting to talk to it about before ending the night?
I think last time Ordell asked, because he said, "Who am I?" and the coal kind of responded as they don't know. But Ordell said, "Who are you?" and that wasn't answered. So I think Ordell's just gonna repeat that, kind of just looking at the coal. Are you sent by someone, or are you that someone? Who are you?
It kind of smiles and smirks as it looks at you, seeming to eye you up and down before its eyes seem to stop at your chest, looking directly at the symbol at the very heart of your heart, before it stares back up at you and says, in a crackling voice that no human, so I can't, would be able to mimic, but it very much sounds like a fire that's seems to almost create words with the breaking and the falling of the wood in the fire nearby. So as it speaks, it almost sounds like a furnace bellowing outwards as it speaks, but it says, "I see you've got my message."
Yes, I did. Hello. So, when I was healed by those men, I saw a face enter my chest. Is that you?
It is, again, there's no way I can do anything comparably mimicking what it sounds like, but it says, it is the best version of me I can show you right now. Seeming to be painful for it to speak out these few words. It's kind of straining to even get them out.
Do I keep this vessel you've made, or should I leave this here so you may rest?
Throw me
As I'm holding the coal.
Yeah. Throw me in the fire when we are done.
Why do these people burn everyone?
To send them to me, to cleanse their souls and bodies.
And
I haven't.
is there a name I can give them?
So as you're like about to speak, it says, "I haven't much time. If you have any questions, make them quick."
A name, something I can give these people. They seem to refer to you by many.
The flame will do.
And Ordell's gonna gently place the coal back in the fire.
Thank you.
I will see you soon in the Heartlands. Before the coal seems to be covered in soot once again, and the ember beneath it fades out to a black coal. As you sit now silent in the room with the fire in the hearth.
Yeah, Ordell's gonna sit there for a long while, just kind of hold his knees to his chest and sit and think. And then eventually he's going to get up and relock this like basement, and then he's going to head back. Kind of giving like a nod up to XE when he passes. Assuming that XE is like on the ceiling by the time he gets back.
XC, you're still outside, correct?
Definitely not on the ceiling, but I'm above the ceiling for sure.
You're on the second floor looking outwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you would be able to see XC, not a problem. XC, being with your passive perception, you're able to see Ordell in the rain, though you definitely wouldn't have been able to hear him. It is an absolute typhoon out there right now. The only thing probably keeping the two of you on your feet, or in this case laying down, is the weight of you. Ordell, you're a big guy, and XC, you're metal. And so the wind can't really move you as easily as it might have the other crew. So probably a good thing that the other crew did not go out looking. But Ordell, as you kind of nod to XC going in, you close the door behind you, completely drenched. The woman that you saw before that kind of is confrontational at best, Sasha, is the only...
Really?
really, is the only paladin of the flame that still remains awake, sitting at the table. The others are all in some sort of cot or sleeping bag, as are your friends Winter and Ashrin, while Ritter sits nearby on the couch, awake and watching. He seems to be tightening up some of the threads on the arrowheads and preparing for a hunt at some point. But right now, everyone is resting. Ritter just seems to be on his watch, but you could either join them in rest, or you're kind of the last one for anything to do before rest begins.
Before I do, Ordell's gonna sit down across from Sasha in just as confrontational of a kind of just like putting his weight down in the chair.
You're soaked and getting water in our boots.
Yes, I am.
And Ordell's gonna take some of the ashes on his hands and just wipe it on the table.
How often do you hear them? The flames?
She kind of sits upright at this. Why do you ask? Did you hear them?
I had a full conversation. That's why I left. I had a name to call whatever was reaching out to me, so I did.
Every one of us here has spoken at one point or time to the flames and been guided here to this path now. Elijah leads us forward into the north. You're not alone in having spoken to the flames. You're not special.
I didn't say I was special.
I can
I
tell
wanted
you
to know what
thinking
they've
it.
said. No, I wanted clarity. Someone being special is not important to me. Having answers matters to me.
The flames told me I would find their avatar somewhere in the north and bring his flame back to him, giving him life and dominion over this realm, cleansing the death once and for all from old Korra.
So if I am this avatar,
I
which I'm
didn't
not
say
saying
you were
is
this
true,
avatar.
I'm not saying that either.
Good.
I'm saying if you find this avatar, this individual, are the flames overtaking them? Do they just die in this scheme?
I don't know. The flames haven't pointed me there yet. I do not think you are the avatar. I do think Scorch is the avatar.
With Scorch.
Scorch is... You have so much to learn. Scorch is who we are going to meet up in Cavity. Scorch will help us retake the capital and burn the dead.
Why do you dislike me and my friends?
I do not trust you. You are not led here by the flame. You are found in the forest. All of us here have some sort of kinship. But you do not.
Interesting. Well, I do not expect you to ease up on your apprehension, as I will not mine. I was just curious, as it seems there is something we all have in common with this calling from the flames.
So you say.
Ordell's gonna stand, and as he's walking, we just look over his shoulders.
Some handle burns better than others.
And he's gonna go sit and rest.
Okay. As you sit down, Ritter kind of gives you a nod as you sit there without words, not wanting to wake others or have a conversation that wouldn't be private here. As the night goes on, XC, you sit on Overwatch for the duration, so I'm going to need a perception roll from you.
Relaxing up here, actually. Oh gosh, I guess this blizzard is quite blizzardy for rain. That's a 2 plus 7's a 9.
9. Okay. As you look outward, you're trying to watch the forest, as the road between Carthage and the forest is where you saw and faced the Nargoleths. You don't trust the dark, but there is no sky for you to see any stars like the Nargoleth was before, and the rain is just far too heavy. You think you hear some noises, but it could just be water sloshing up against the shore at some point before the sun finally rises. The rain has eventually stopped and left it with nothing but a pure, humid morning here at the edge of the ocean. It is going to be a miserable walk for those of you who care about humidity, which is everybody who's a biological. But with that, XC, the sun finally rises, and you know that that's about when they are to be woken. And so slowly, the others begin to rise. Everyone else has a solid night's sleep. You get a full rest in at some point, even if you are awake to do your watch. It is a period of such light activity, it feels restful to you. But the day is ready to begin. As the paladins begin waking up, anybody who was a heavy sleeper is no longer, as their heavy armor is donned and getting ready for the morning. Yes, Winter.
What's my constitution? Am I back to normal?
You and Ordell are back to normal now.
Okay, awesome. Good to know.
Yep. You have your full health,
Woot
and your
woot.
muscles have regenerated to their normal form.
Awesome.
You were being affected by greater restoration, which, you know, when it tries to heal you is a very good thing, but when you have things that make it do the opposite, you know, it does the opposite. You try
Oh,
and
it hurts.
give you life back, it, you know, does the opposite. But you're all up and ready for the day. Elijah seems to be in high spirits as he finishes cleaning off his helmet from some of the nearby water. He puts it onto his pack, grabs his sword by the thing that swords go in that I'm blanking. The sheath. That's the
sheath.
word. That's it.
the one.
Grabs the sword by the sheath and kind of knocks it against the wood to garner everyone's attention on the inside before saying, "All right, it's about time we head off. We'll get the shooter on the roof and head on to the forest. I want everybody to have a buddy system. I want you to have somebody that you can call on if you see anything. If we get lost, we'll try and find each other, but no one goes through that forest alone, you hear me?"
Noted.
Right. Sasha, come here. As there are 6 of you, you can buddy up amongst each other, or you can find some paladins to buddy up with.
Winter would like to go over to where the Black Archer is and where Ash is and go, you guys look like you would be really good buddies. I think you should buddy up.
I agree.
I would feel
I thought I saw a buddy for you. Sasha! Hey! Sasha, are you... Oh. Okay, she still doesn't like me. I tried to repay the... Ashton, would you like to travel together?
Make them hold hands, as Ordell yells from across the room.
I would feel really safe if you guys were together.
Elijah speaks up. Holding hands might not be a bad idea. It's humid. You'll get sweaty palms out there, everybody. Are you all right with that?
Yes, I strongly advise that.
I go and hold Elijah's hand.
I'm going to be traveling with Sasha. He leans down to whisper to you, says, I was trying to keep her away from your party and any sort of confrontation.
Oh, okay. I still don't let go. I just like look at his hand and go, okay.
Okay then. Never mind.
Well, this
No,
is
I
all
let go and
happening.
I walk away.
While this is all happening, I'm just gonna like, if I am standing next to the Black Archer as this discussion is happening, I'm gonna take a step back so everyone can see me, but Black Archer can't. I'm just gonna give like the biggest like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
As
Remember, Arakokra.
Emma's
As-
gonna pop out of
Actually,
XC.
before you do Emma,
Okay.
as this is happening, I will grab the ring Emma's in, because you will put that a second, and I'll shake it. Are you there, Emma?
Emma Wells.
As you appear,
Hello.
the momentum doesn't stop from when you were in the ring, and you kind of shimmy on one foot for a second. You don't fall over, but you do have to catch yourself.
Good morning, XC.
Good morning. You will be my partner for today.
What?
Understood. Great. You may go back in the ring now if you want.
Okay.
As everyone stands there, Ritter is reaching in, grabbing some arrows from the pouch when Ashton stands behind and gives the to everybody. And everyone in the room suddenly turns and looks over to her as she's like, before Ritter stands up, seeing everybody now looking at him as he looks back, and Ashton, ready to go? Yeah, that's fine. Before everyone slowly... Oh, go ahead.
And as we head off, everyone's holding hands. I'm just gonna loop our elbows together. Just just elbows.
You don't have to do that.
Oh, great. Okay, I drop it. I don't know. Elijah said that was the thing to do, and I thought if we were gonna do it, I might as well just start off with a friendly elbow lock.
It's hard to use a bow that way. I'm not opposed, but you don't have to.
Perfect. Oh, wonderful.
kinda-
And I take my rapier out before he can say anything. I'm just gonna twirl it around and start walking.
As everyone exits the room, Ordell, you stand there now next to Sasha, who is absent a partner.
Absolutely is what Ordell does. This is, it seems one of your own is choosing one of my own. I look forward to being your partner for today. Don't wander too far.
I think
As
I'd
Ordell
rather
walks
be,
out,
I think I'd rather be lost in the forest.
then you will.
Or you like
As Ordell
close
does
the
that thing
door
where,
on.
yeah, absolutely. I do the thing where I push the door back so she bumps into it.
She opens the door with just the biggest scowl before closing it behind her. Now, standing at the front, ready to lead the party, Elijah stands there, a big, tall, burly, wide man holding Winter's hand, addressing the group. Says, "All right, I'm going to put flame to the building, and then we march. At my pace, keep behind me. We stay through the foot," as you're like swinging his hand, making it entirely not serious at all. "Stay behind." He looks down for a moment. "Are you okay?"
Mhm.
"Okay."
This is more fun.
She does that.
Yeah, it seems fun, but
He
we...
is also very good at putting flame to building.
Oh. Well, if you'd like to do the honors, go ahead.
So we're burning down this building? Are there people inside?
No, everybody's out now. Everybody's out now, right? With no reply. All right, yes, burn it down.
Okay. Do you want a really big fire or just a small fire? Is there kindling in there? How combustible is it?
It's wood, but it's wet, so...
All right, okay. And I'll cast fireball
Okay.
at a third level.
As everyone kind of looks at the building, awaiting for you to walk up to it and create a flame on the outside of it, knowing that it will probably take some while since the outside of it is all wet. They all kind of are slowly tying their shoes and getting ready for the day, pulling their boots up before a few of them are knocked to the floor as a sudden green bead on the inside of the room is met with the loud shattering of glass as a fireball sends wood splintering off in all directions. Everyone kind of cowers and covers their head for a moment, except for the three Warforged who stand there looking with not much surprise on them. They process it a little faster as they just look at up and down. But the two cleric ones look back at you before looking at each other, nodding head, and walking up to follow.
Ordell turns to Winter, goes, "Oh, you burned that too hastily. I think Sasha left her heart in there." As Ordell turns and grins, and then keeps walking.
Winter gives giggles. It's gonna make some good fan fiction. Go back up, and hold hands again.
Elijah stands there,
is that-
jaw kind of down, as you run up and just kind of skip to grab his hand. Yes, it's good. It's good. Very, very, very good.
Is that what I could do it bigger next time if you know? Okay.
You can do it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, do that next time. He
Okay,
chuckles, as
but you
do
might
the rest
need
of
me
the
to.
flame paladins.
You might need me to burn like other things that are less flammable than wood.
Oh, yes. Wait, you can burn more than wood?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have that power yet.
Or just like people.
Oh, good. That's
Only
even better.
bad ones, or like
Those
ones that take lots of water. I don't know. I'm still working out my alignment.
or those infected by the plague. That's really what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Good. Well, he kind of tightens up his jerkin and straightens everything up in his collar. Before he says, "Okay, off to the Black Forest. I guess we're following. It's winter, right?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Guess we're following
also-
young Lady Winter here's lead. I wouldn't want to step out of line before it's kind of a murmur of chuckles.
Just quickly, what's the flames? What's the flames' perspective on like small undead goblins? Accepting or
Normally, we would hope that they wouldn't exist, and if we see them, there's no telling if they're made from the plague or not, if it could spread. I would prefer that we do not find any, but if we do, we'll kill them, don't worry. Everyone now stares at Wednesday Addams, scowling up at Elijah at the edge of the burning building that is nearby. Before, right, we're off then. Before Elijah begins walking and kind of pulls on your hand to get you to step forward and move.
I'm gonna walk with him holding his hand, kind of like a child having a tantrum, but I am gonna look back at Ritter and point and say through message, is it too late to kill them?
No, not at all.
We'll chat later.
Please. Ritter looks over to Ashrin, and he kind of mouths the words. Roll me a perception to see if you can see what he's mouthing real quick, Ashrin. As Ritter.
Hey. 25.
Oh, Ritter's words make no sound, but he does say, Winter would like them dead, so if that happens, be ready. Before the march through the Black Forest begins, you're a ways off from the base of the forest. You're about a mile or two before you would actually reach the Black Forest's base, as it were. And from what you can see, it's pretty vast. You're on the southern side. It's kind of sloped downward. You can kind of see it moving upwards, especially as there are more mountains to the north. The terrain just naturally kind of inclines itself, and you can see the trek that's before you and the multiple days, if not weeks, that you will be going through this area. It's going to be a long time. As such, it's good that you have a buddy system going. Once you very first reach the edge of the Black Forest, Elijah is currently leading with Winter. Where is everybody else with their buddies? Would you say that you're up at the front with them, in the middle, or somewhere to the rear?
I'm inside of mine.
And that inside of mine is actually not in the line, if possible.
where would you like to be?
We're gonna
Floating
die.
around.
Float, just kind of.
Not literally floating. I haven't got levitation from winter, but
Got ya. But just on your own, kind of scouting continuously around them. Good to know.
mobile Overwatch.
Yeah, exactly. Ashrin and Ritter, where would you like to be?
I feel like Ritter would be the type to be the last one. What would Ritter be like?
He's kind of letting you do what you want. He's more just on the. He's more worried about the people that he's with than the forest, though still worried about the forest.
We'll be last.
Okay. Ordell, where are you and Sasha?
Probably at the back of the line kind of thing, but Ordell's doing that thing where like he stands like just a little too close to Sasha but doesn't let you touch. So anytime she moves, he just like moves so that they're like maybe an inch between them kind of thing. And if she looks over, Ordell's just like as if he's minding his own business. But anytime she looks away, he's just like like just giving like a turd eating grin. Like he's currently doing everything non-verbally to antagonize Sasha right now.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll me a stealth roll.
Okay. That's a 19.
19, solid. Consistently, you have gotten chuckles from the other paladins as you walk along and place rabid folk ears over her head as you walk, or stick your tongue out behind her. People chuckle and giggle before she turns around, but you are also at the same time already looking behind. I don't know what they're. I missed it too, I guess, as you're walking along. XC.
Eyes on the road.
Don't look at me. Look forward. XC, if you're trying to go around, are you trying to, I guess, are you trying to be stealthy as you do so, or are you just actively scouting?
Are we moving at a pace that allows me to be stealthy?
They're at a march, so a fast walk.
Well, then I'll be as stealthy as I can be at a fast walk.
Okay. With Ritter there, it does help, but if you try and go too far above the group, then you will be slowed down. Ritter is able to kind of maneuver everyone through this forest a bit more easily than they normally would be able to. So, are you planning on staying near the group or kind of going ahead a little bit?
I'd like to be close enough that I can see if Ordell lift either of his arms, but not close enough that I have to engage in conversation.
Oh, based on another recap thing, for those who need to know, Jakey, if Ordell raises his left arm, that means fire. Right arm means do nothing. So, just for people to know. But yes, since you're going to stay near the group, go ahead and roll a stealth for me, XC.
That's an 18.
18. Solid. You're pretty certain that your presence is absent for eyes that notice the rest of the group. The rest of the group is moving with heavily armored paladins, a giant Ordell, and other folks as they move through this forest. Their presence is not going to be unnoticed. So, as such, yours will be just by virtue of they're going to see them before they would see you. So, hopefully that will help you out. But as you all move into the forest, the first day's trek is nothing but a humid slog through a marsh. That rain left nothing but swamp-like puddles as you move through this southern edge of the forest. Being that it seems to run slowly downward, you're probably in the thickest, most wet lands of this forest, and it's not fun at all. It is a hard day's slog, but you're able to go through it. As you begin moving, there's several times where you have to stop either for just brief rests or bathroom breaks for the group as a whole, stopping to grab some food. But Ritter and Elijah seem to want to try and keep the party moving as much as they can, both of them knowing the dangers that are out here. Several times when you stop, Ritter will be kind of looking around seemingly at nothing before saying, all right, okay, we've been here too long, let's go. And Elijah will agree readily. But for the first day, you seem to have gone unnoticed by anything in the forest, or at least that you've noticing you. Night will roll around, and you're on this trek for a seemingly long while here. as you're going to stop for the night, just like the night before, you've gotten to talk a little bit with the paladins and learn a bit more about them. The name Scorch is no longer just known by Ordell, but by the rest of the group, as talk about their leader that they plan to meet has been heard from Elijah. You've also garnered a few other bits of information from them. Everybody roll me an investigation check, just as you've been talking, except for XC and Emma, because you've kind of been outside the group. So by everybody, I mean barely half of you.
Also, quick question. I'm gonna use my knowledge from past life, but what was the name of the place? Sorry that the Cole gave me.
Cavity. That's where you're planning to go. Oh, the Cole.
Oh, he said I'm gonna meet you.
He said he's gonna meet you in the Heartland.
The Heartland. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Ooh.
I got a 13.
13. Ashrin.
18.
18. Ordell.
22.
Solid.
And I'm dumb.
Winter, you've been talking with Elijah, so you've kind of heard background conversations, but Elijah mostly hums as he walks, kind of a marching tune. Though he's a farmhand, he definitely has picked up some sort of sailing like tunes as he's gone along, which is something that you may ask him about one day. But Ordell and Ashrin, being that you've been with the majority of the group here, have heard most of the conversation as you've walked onwards. You've garnered that Elijah has actually been to Cavity a couple of times. He doesn't talk about it much, but he's kind of the guide or go-between between Cavity and Carthage that brings new people to and from this land here. So Elijah is a little bit more experienced here than the rest of the paladins. Sasha and the other 6 are brand new to the area, so they're as green as you are in this forest. So relying on them will be a bad idea. But the first night comes and it's pretty peaceful so far. You all can stop and take a rest here. Now that you've gone further north, you're probably half a day's travel further from where you actually met Elijah in that small clearing with the campfire there. So a little bit of backtracking to get you further north from where you're at, but you've traveled a bit of a distance here. As you go to rest for the night, during this travel of trying to get all the way up to Cavity, which I will show on the map for people, but as I'm doing that, is there anything that you're wanting to be doing at the nights during this long travel? So for everybody's reference, oh gosh, it's not letting me unclick. The group is currently here where Carthage is, and they're trying to travel all the way up to the top left on the screen to where Cavity is, having to go through the Black Forest, near Wimburn, by Crystal Hollows, by the Bloodstalks, and up to Cavity. It's going to be a long march.
Oof. I would like to chat to Emma a little bit, if I may.
Okay. Winter will chat to Emma most nights. Ordell?
Ordell has a few questions that are specific, but I think Ordell, for the most part, is just going to go around and get to know each one of the paladins.
Okay.
Just to kind of get more grounding, and also to antagonize Sasha.
For chat, I need 5 male paladin names. So go ahead and give me those. That way we can give them all some bit more depth and personality, since you're going to learn more about them. Ashrin, what are you going to be wanting to do most nights?
I'm probably going to talk to my dagger and probably ask a question every night.
Okay.
Either relating to, can we trust this group? Will we die at our destination? Or not exactly that, but probably things along those lines to make sure we are safe and okay. Adam. Sorry, I was reading chat. My boyfriend's name is Adam. Anyways.
Oh, also, I totally messed up. Because I'm writing the names down for the paladins here, and I went to the wrong page. I said Scorch. Ignis is his name. I totally said the wrong name. Ignis is his name. All fire things.
Who's
Doesn't matter.
Scorch?
And then I'm probably going to talk to Ritter, ask him, probably try to pry more about his personal life. I know that there was a hang up when we were talking originally. He was gonna say something, but then he didn't. And then I'll probably talk to XC and try to either either teach more lying or more bad words or something. Teach him more biological things, and then I'd probably talk to Ordell, make sure he's okay if he's not when he's not berating Sasha. And
Okay.
then probably talk to Winter, make sure she's okay too, and then try to like let her know we didn't mean it, and even though she probably knows, so we didn't mean it. And then probably talk to Emma if she ever comes out of the ring. Like,
Ashton has
Joe?
busy nights.
well, you said it's a long trip, so like each night I'll probably do something
yeah.
different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
And then probably for Emma, I'll poke her, and then I think by this time I'd feel kind of sorry for poking in her ring and saying it's musty, and then trying to get to know her. But we'll see how Emma reacts, and then we'll go from there.
I love it. Emma, what are you going to be doing most nights?
Honestly, as long as she can do her nightly prayers, that's all she cares about.
XC?
I have 5 days of metal scrap to go through.
Perfect. Right. So on this first night, we're gonna go through as there are going to be, again, lots of nights of travel. Recall what you're wanting to be doing during most nights, but we're going to focus on one individual person each night to give them a bit more focus, so that it's not a long haul of talking just at the night. That way we can still have nice pacing as we go through. First, we'll start with Winter, since you were up at the front of the caravan. You were wanting to talk to Emma. XC currently holds Emma in his hand.
So I'll go, excuse me, XC, as he's going through whatever scrap metal he's sorting through. Might I please kindly borrow Emma?
Emma, as in Emerald Coolcrest.
Yes.
Before I hand over the ring, can you confirm if you are queen or not queen, or queen or not queen?
Oh, I'm not a queen.
Understood. And then I hand over the ring.
I'm gonna excuse me, little whisper, and like a little tiny little tap on the ring. Excuse me, Emma, Bone Queen. Hello.
I found if you shake it, it helps.
Oh,
I
that
come out
sounds-
at the sheer mention of shaking, and Emma comes out. She's got a book in one hand, an apple in the other, and she's about to take a bite of the apple as you watch the apple just turn to just ash. As soon as she comes out of the ring, she's like, I was gonna enjoy that.
I'm really sorry to interrupt your snack, but I haven't gotten, I don't want to, just to clarify, but I haven't actually gotten to go into the ring, but I have heard that you have quite an extensive library inside your ring.
Yes.
She
shut the book.
I'm gonna look around and see if there's anyone within earshot, and try and take Emma by her bony elbow and lead her somewhere a little bit more private, if possible.
Go for it. As the camp is being set up, there's obviously a flame here that will probably attract some attention, and you're all a little bit weary about it, but the paladins seem to insist in this forest, putting Ritter at great dis-ease. But as such, you're able to hide in the darkness of the trees pretty easily, only having to go maybe 20-30 yards away.
Emma, so I'm really, as you know, excited to learn more about necromancy with consent. And I've been talking to my little goblin fellows. I have this book, you see, and I pull out the book and show some of the drawings that I've made. There's nothing else in there. It just looks like I've been drawing to myself, like there's half a conversation in a book in pictures. And my goblin friends, they want to come back, and I was just wondering if you would have any books that might help me learn how to do that for them.
Yeah, I'm more than sure there would probably be books in there for that. You'd have to probably spend a while looking.
I can't come in with you, can I?
Not while I'm in there, no.
Am I Could you? Do you know all the books that you have? Like,
Honestly, no. It almost seems like the library shifts what it contains quite often, actually. As I've told you before, this ring, although I claim it's mine, it is not mine. It is magical in nature, and things change.
so how might you suggest we go about this?
It's a good question. If only there was something like a Dewey Decimal System or anything like that for this library, but there's not. So,
Do we? Who's Dewey?
it was a gnome. He had created these libraries, and in these libraries, what he would do is he would allot a certain number for a book, and then you could scroll through these little catalogs. And once you scroll through them,
these scrolls.
yes, more or less. In disembodied voice, wherever you are. Thank you. You would rummage through it and find a number, and then you take that number, and then you can find a book on a shelf, and it's just a whole thing. But
I
yes.
mean, so that doesn't exist. That's just something that you imagined? Because that would
it's
be
real
ideal.
somewhere.
Oh, but this library doesn't.
But
Wait,
not
have
this
it.
library.
Here's this amazing system for organizing things. I wish my library that I run did it that way. I don't know.
You know what? I mean, maybe if we find Dewey's bones, then I can bring him back and he can organize your library for you. But
Oh, it has been 800 years. Dewey is probably dead. This is true.
But to refocus, Bone Queen, do you think you have a book like that, or are you suggesting that I should go in your ring? Because you have been quite adamant about us not doing that.
Well, I'd prefer you not, but if you have to, I guess there's no knowing how long you'll be stuck in there, and then also my patron's gonna try and like squeeze your brain for information and things like that, and if she likes you better than she likes me, she might keep you in there longer. Who knows? So I'd prefer not.
So could you look for the book for me, please?
Sure. Can do.
Ryan, do I would think that I may have some paper with me because I was coming to do exploration and things like that. I feel like I would have been
You definitely
prepared
would
to
have
learn on the way.
parchment, especially since you have a spell book.
Mhm.
Not that you necessarily want to take pages out of that, but parchment just for practicing the writing before you actually commit it to memory in your book is something that you would often have to do.
Okay.
So you definitely have some parchment.
Okay, cool. I would, if you could look for anything that might have any information on ways that I could do that, I would be very grateful, Bone Queen.
After my prayer tonight, I suppose I could look for that for you.
Thank
If
you.
I find it, I'll give it to you in the morning.
Oh, thank you so much. Also, how's your travel buddy going?
It's wonderful. When it rains, it sounds like rain on a tin roof, and it's wonderful. I don't have to walk. I can just stay in there. He doesn't talk much. It's quite nice.
Eliza's whistling like a lot, and also he seems really nice, but I think he's kind of bigoted.
I assume all of these, as Emma looks around to all of them, I assume they all are, especially that one over there as she points over to Sasha.
Although, have you noticed, like, I'm starting a new chapter. I think there's like, you know, like Ordell may as well just be pulling her pigtails.
As you look over at Ordell, and he seems to be doing that make it seem like a fly is next to her ear thing. But for you all, it looks like maybe he's sniffing her hair next to her on the campfire.
Oh, do you have a romance section?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I do.
I
It's a
mean,
good section.
if you happen to pull any from there as well, just while you're looking for that book on necromancy, I wouldn't be opposed to reading anything. Also, do you take submissions? Can I submit a book to your library?
Alex called it so
Sure.
quickly in the chat down there, right as you were saying it.
Yes, sure. You can always add in books. Yeah. Are you going to be adding smut to my library, though?
I would not call it smut. It is firmly romance.
There's smut in the library. Like, I'm not judging you. I
I
was just saying if you're adding more smut.
maybe I will come into this ring one day, Emma.
One day, indeed.
Oh, wow, we get a second GFY because Alzaroth says this is neck romantic. Oh, that's just
Title
way
of
to
my
go.
book.
Neck romantic. So Alzaroth, give a GFY to whichever player you would like. Which, come on, you know who earned it. With that, as Winter and Emma discuss what possible smut works may be in the library, or, you know, romance works are definitely in the library, eventually the group settles down for a rest for the night and gets ready to head out once more in the morning. As such, is everybody planning on moving in the same kind of order and pairs that they were before?
Emma's going to stay out of the ring this day to walk with XZ.
Okay, good to know. With that, XC, if you're planning to be kind of a scout around, Emma is planning to walk with you.
She can plan as much as she wants.
Buddy?
Depends on how
Buddy?
good your stealth roll is, I guess.
Where are you, buddy?
So if you are planning to try and lose Emma and be stealthy around, you can. Just need a stealth roll for that. But either way, I need a regular stealth roll. You just tell me if you're trying to lose Emma. Winter can have the
no,
GFY. Fantastic.
I will have a conversation with Emma about her being out of the ring, though.
Okay. As you're all walking then, I need everybody to roll me a perception check, but while that's happening, XC and Emma, go ahead. Emma, you follow XC off to the side of the group, kind of traverse things through some of the forest. It's a lot drier today than it was yesterday. There was no storm last night, so it's a bit easier of a walk, less humid. Good. Ordell, you are far too busy flicking the back of Sasha's ear every now and again, just in a really quick mosquito bite-like flick.
I'm really excited about this new book. The fact that I might actually have somewhere for it to live on a shelf. And so I have my notebook out and I am like scribbling. I'm like looking around me for inspiration. There's a whole section on flame play. And I rolled a 1.
Flame play. Elijah at one point looks down and says, "What are you writing?" Trying to look over your shoulder.
Oh, it's a romance novel.
Oh, about between who?
Pretty much everyone, honestly.
Oh, it's blank anonymous names. Those are always the best. You can insert yourself into the characters.
Yes, you can, Elijah. Yes, you can.
Ashton, what was your roll?
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20. XC and Emma, what were your rolls?
That would be a 17.
17, dirty 20.
17.
17. And Ritter. Perfect. So, Emma, you and XC are in the middle of discussing. Go ahead and start your conversation.
Are you entering back into the ring?
Do you want me to?
I mean, don't biologicals have a saying when you hurt your thumb?
No, I don't believe we do. Do we? Emma
am
looks
sure.
around. There's no one around. Just like, hey, do we?
Something like you stick out like a sore thumb.
Oh, that is a saying. Yeah. Well, I suppose I could hide in the ring more often. I guess it makes your life easier, and then when it's time to, attack or do something, I can just like pop out and shoot things at people.
You use your words have made very good connections, shooting out, coming out when combat. Question.
Mm.
Your ring, and I hold up the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have to be this shape?
I would assume so.
It needs to be a ring to function. Is that correct?
I wouldn't try and. Are you recommending changing it, Exy?
I had 1,500 ideas in the last few seconds, and
Oh.
the best idea was to convert your ring into a shape like a bullet, because I could get you into combat very quickly.
Perhaps maybe too quickly.
XC
I have
just
yet to see
invented teleportation.
Pass on a message for us, Emma. Goodbye.
2 miles, just.
Infiltration would be also very useful with this delivery package.
Attack the Cloud Kingdom.
I'm not gonna lie, XC. Although a wonderful idea, it is also terrifying at the same point. I don't think my patron would probably be happy with trying to mess with the ring. Perhaps I think maybe we shouldn't anger her.
I am very logical. I could talk to her without having emotional angering.
Well, how about tonight? I'll let you talk to her. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? I know I can't give you commands like Ordell can, but can you do something for me, Exy?
What is it you require?
Can you not allow anyone to put on the ring unless I allow it?
Understood. Would you also like me to stop anyone touching the ring?
No, they can touch it, but preferably not put it on. I know that makes it difficult, but...
Negative. It also makes my suggestion even better, because you cannot put on a bullet.
This is... You've given me a lot to think about. I have to find something for winter. If you need me, you can just talk through the ring and I can talk back out. You don't have to shake it anymore, in fact. All you have to say is Emma, and either I'll talk to you through the ring or I will come out of the ring. And yes, please don't shake me
able
anymore.
to
Also, is
see
that a thing?
Through the
I
ring?
can, but when you have me in the compartment, I can't necessarily see out of the compartment, so it's just very dark. Maybe you could, and Emma's gonna pull, she's got still has the golden, like, chain that runs from her horn, to the skull. She's gonna take one off and fashion it into a necklace. She says you could always wear it as a
Negative.
necklace so I can
I have
see.
a better
Okay.
option.
Okay.
And I undo a little bit of a screw on my head, and I flick it over the screw and then tighten it up a little bit. You have aerial view of the entire area.
This is incredible. Thank you, XC. Do you need anything else from me today?
Negative.
Okay, thank you. And Emma's into the ring that now has like this beautiful like view camera mount.
Camera mount.
Emma's gonna spend her time in the ring now, actively trying to find a book about animating dead, as well as looking for a romance novel that might interest Winter.
Roll me a percentile. Okay. You know, the same roll you do when you talk to your god in this game. Roll me a percentile.
As you can see, my hands over here. It's not 100. It's an 81 though. Wherever
Okay.
the thing is, it's over here.
You do find a
Is that what it looks like in the ring for Emma?
Yeah, just like
That's what it looked like when Ordell yelled at you. You do find in the yeah, exactly. You do find in the ring a spell book, one that you probably noticed the first time that you were in here, but have long since stowed away. Seems to be a spell book of Animate Dead.
Okay. I will I'll grab that. And I'm gonna hold on to it until we take a break. That way I can come out of the ring. But until we take a break, I'm also going to be looking for just a general romance novel, which should be pretty easy.
Oh yeah, you definitely have them. It's up to you what level of PG or R or NC-18 the book is.
I'll grab 2 and let her decide.
Okay, good. Chat, because an exercise in fun. What would the title of these 2 romance books be? One very, a romance book, and another without getting the channel banned.
Smut, dirty smut.
Just dirty smut.
Dirty
As you're walking, the neck romancer. Well, that can't be in there. That's what Winter's writing, and that's the vampire's tale. As you're all walking, eventually it gets towards sunset, but not quite. You can begin to see, besides the redness of the clouds above that are constantly churning, you can train your dragonborn. No, no.
It involves a lot of porridge.
50 scales of gray, the dainty demoness, dirty 20s, tusk love. She got boned. Oh my god. I'm loving all of this.
I love the dainty demoness.
Of course. The bone whisperer. I like How to Train Your Dragonborn best so far. The Monster Manual. Book of Vile Darkness. So as you're all walking, the sun is beginning to set. It's not quite there. It's about that hour before at sunset where the sky is starting to turn a pale shade of pinkish red. The Dungeon Master's Guide. Jakey, you're on fire. As you're all conversing, at some point, Ashrin, you're talking to Ritter about kind of what's going on. But he goes, I've seen you almost talk to the dagger a few times at night.
What? You saw that?
Briefly. Care to elaborate on that?
No.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, unless you would like to elaborate. I know last we talked, you had something you wanted to say but didn't.
No, I think we'll
talk
keep
if you do.
keep our own thoughts to ourselves then. If if you're not willing to share.
It is a dark part of my history and my family that I don't know if I'm ready to talk about or have not even talked about with anybody. So,
Well, that's fair. If there was anything that was bothering you, I wanted to see if I could help.
oh no, nothing's bothering me. I kind of just like to get a second opinion on if we can trust these people or not, even though I know we can't. Or it's not even people in general, it's just any situation I'm in. I kind of
A second
reach out.
opinion via your dagger?
Yes.
Maybe that's all I need to know. I personally, some things are just, as he begins to kind of open up and is going to start talking about seemingly what he meant to before. You're looking at him, you're kind of walking behind him as he walks forward just a little bit. You're seeing most of the group in hand as y'all two are at the rear. Elijah and Winter are he's looking over her shoulder at some book in her hand, and she's speaking very enthusiastically about Bigby's Hand, that a book that she picked up in Emma's library the previous night. Ordell is currently messing with Sasha in one childish prank way or form, throwing small sticks in front of her foot every now and again just to cause her to have a small trip. XC and Emma are speaking about the new camcorder mount that XC has just placed upon his head. Everyone seems to be, for the better part, Mordekainen's Tome of Hose. Better part, it's so hard not to look at all. I just have to ignore it. For the lack of a better term, distracted. But you and Ritter are in conversation, and just by happenstance of him walking in front of you, you see something move across the tree line in front of you. Something quite large from one tree to another. As he's... I've been here a long time. And so, yeah, Ashrin, you're the only one who sees this. Ritter does not see it. He seems to be in the midst of his conversation, but something heavy moves between the trees that you're headed towards.
Ritter, did you see that?
No, what? Before he immediately pulls an arrow, knocks it, and begins looking around.
Something big in the trees, and I just point in the direction where it moved to, right or left to right, or wherever.
He looks forward. Hey, wait! Before whistling, trying to get everyone's attention, which you all suddenly look back and see Ritter kind of hunched low with an arrow knocked on his bow. Before he kind of puts his eyes, or points the eyes towards that direction. Everyone looks forward now, not really seeing anything in that tree line, but all of the paladins immediately draw their blades from their scabbards. XC and Emma, you're kind of hidden on the side. Emma, especially since you're in the ring. XC, are you wanting to try and maybe get a better look? Because I know you were planning on kind of scouting or watching, or are you more watching the group to make sure nothing happens to them?
I will go into a tree if possible.
Climb up one?
I mean, not physically into it, yes. Climb
Okay,
up one.
gotcha. As you climb up, go ahead and roll me a stealth roll.
Whoa, 13 plus 6 is 19.
Okay. You quickly go up the tree as everyone is kind of on heightened alert. A few of the paladins, which Ordell, you do have their names of, which I will tell you as it becomes your day. A few of them look over just to see you as the leaves kind of rustle as you move upwards, but it's the slightest sound causing it to be that way. Before the rest kind of look forward. Actually, you're fairly certain you're decently hidden here. However, before a shadow and a silhouette in this dark forest, which must be the size of an Etten or a giant, quickly lumbers from one tree and rushes its way north and away from you all. The paladins kind of all look to each other, and then Elijah looks down at you and says, "Stay here," before igniting his sword, creating a light and a beacon for the other paladins. He says, "We'll go look ahead." Sasha.
Do I get a chance to fire a shot before it leaves?
You couldn't see the whole thing. You can try and shoot at its foot if you'd like.
No, that's... I will remain hidden.
Okay. As it ran off forward, the paladins all kind of look to each other. Elijah now with sword lit in a flame. "Wait here. We'll take a look at this. Don't move from this spot. We'll be right back. If there's trouble, we'll call for you." All the paladins move forward, Sasha away from Ordell. Everyone now with their blades out, with Elijah the only one lit a flame. What are you all doing? Do you ignore him and join them? Do you wait here for a moment?
What's Ritter doing?
Ritter is kind of crouching, just trying to be as low as possible near one of the trees with his arrow knocked on his bow.
He is my buddy, and I will do the same.
Buddy
except
system.
with a rapier. Mm-hmm.
Okay. As he leans up against the tree, you instead, as he seems to be watching around the group, you kind of watch his front and the two of you getting a good 360 view and protection of each other. Emma, you're still in XC's cam vision up at the top, his GoPro. Ordell, Sasha leaves to go run up with the rest of the paladins. Winter, they gather maybe about 10 feet away from you when Elijah nods, saying, "Wait here."
Where's Ordell? I'm gonna keep an eye on Ordell. And I'm gonna ready chill touch and just hold the green energy in my hand.
Okay. Ashrin holding the guard. Winter kind of moves back to the center and just watching Ordell to protect him best he can. XC remains in the tree. Ordell, what are you doing?
Ordell goes and sits by the campfire because if they told him
There is no. You're
can handle
currently
it-
in the middle of walking through this.
Oh, we haven't set
This
a
is not
camp.
during rest,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Then I guess I think Ordell would just like keep them going at like a slower pace. But yeah, he's gonna let them do their thing because Ordell will join if it gets dangerous, but doesn't want to interfere.
So you're going to kind of stay back with the party and let the paladins go forward. Okay.
Yep.
The paladins run off into the forest, following the flame. You can see Elijah's flame kind of bouncing off some of the ebony trees of this dark forest and the gray leaves, now illuminated with orange from the flame of his sword, as they begin to move further and further offwards to the north. It's pretty silent here in the forest. You can hear a few owls, some birds, some crickets, bugs, but other than that, you don't hear the footsteps of the paladins. They must have gone quite a distance away from you all. Everybody roll me a perception check. Except Emma.
Nat 20!
Nat 20.
Yeah.
Just
Ashrin.
knowledge from past life. Sorry, 23.
Okay. 23, 20. Holy crap. Okay. Ashrin.
9.
9.
I don't even need to come out of the
I'll
ring.
take a 23 as well.
23. Solid. Ritter got a 20, so everyone's pretty good. Ashrin, however, you are very much being guarded by your friends here. But as you all are looking and listening for the footsteps of your paladin friends moving off further to the north, you hear what sounds, and those with pets would know, what sound like very soft paws moving upon stone. Gently, not at all rushing, before you quickly turn and see what appears to be a wolf of some sort, but not with fur so much as small vines and algae that make up the majority of its body. Its head completely covered in moss, but eyes glowing pink like fey jewels. The moss on it is green opposite the black of this forest here, though its paws itself are quite dark and black, as chat chose Mosshound, and which, by the way, go check out the Mosshound dice from Homebrew Dice and their new Kickstarter. Yeah. I didn't know what a Mosshound was, but I wanted to incorporate one into the game. But
Excuse me.
you all see this wolf-like creature behind you on a boulder that walks its way up, seemingly trying to be quite stealthy about it, before you quickly turn your heads to it, and it lays down like a dog with both paws outwards and lays its head gently upon the rock as it looks and observes you all. Ashrin, you're quickly grasped on the shoulder as Ritter says, "Hey," to turn your head to see this thing.
It's gorgeous.
It's dangerous.
Does it look like it's going to make, like it's just watching us at the moment, isn't it? It doesn't look like it's going to be aggressive towards us.
It doesn't look to be. The equivalent of fur, which would be the thorns and vines and moss on its back, would be matted
just
down.
mean like Loki.
Yeah, it's basically,
on the
but with head down on the rock. But there's your point of inspiration. As it lays down, gosh, Alex, lays down upon the boulder, looking out. It doesn't have any indications of anger or malice in its eyes. Seems to just be observing you. Ritter. Oh, go ahead.
Would we have we ever seen? We wouldn't be familiar with this creature at all.
I would say that Winter and, well, you do have a camcorder on your top. So I would say that Winter, XC, and Ordell would have reason to maybe know about this. So go ahead and roll me a nature check for all three.
Use knowledge from past life again. So I have one more.
Not nat 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
15.
XC.
Hang on. A 1 plus a 1 is 2.
Ah, good. Good. Had to think about that one. Winter, you have heard of hounds of this description before, but not on this plane of existence. These seem to be Fey-like creatures. You've heard about them in the Feywild, where they roam freely and hunt in packs. But other than that, you don't know much about them other than that it's not native to this plane.
Do I know if it's an animal or if it's like a beast or a monstrosity? Like, is this
It would be
an
considered
animal?
a beast in the Feywild, but to those of you here, probably a monstrosity. Also, yes, words gets a GFY. That's its bark is worse than its bite. Oh my god, yeah. Give that to whoever you'd like. Yeah.
Can I, if it's looking like it's not too aggressive, can I start to kind of walk a little bit closer, very slowly,
Absolutely.
and just like pace myself depending on its reaction?
You move
You know,
towards it as Ritter kind of gives you a, but you don't have to heed this, but he gives you a, what are you doing?
it doesn't look like it wants to hurt us.
Ritter does not let go of the arrow on the end of his bow.
I'm
Or-
gonna like let my chill touch fizzle out so that I'm not holding any spells as I kind of walk up a little closer.
As you do so, how do you approach it? Walking closer, but how do you approach it? Do you approach it? Give me your
Like-
description.
I'd say that I'm approaching it kind of in a little bit of a crouch with my hand extended, and like just very cautiously and slowly walking towards it. So I look as approachable as possible. I don't think that we don't have any food. Do we have any like food or anything on us? I know that we were having chicken and things like that.
You definitely.
I'm
have-
gonna throw over Winter some of the cured meat that Ordell made all fancy like.
Do you ask for food, Winter?
Yeah.
Then yeah. Ordell.
And then
throws you a
just
chunk.
like kind of really low with the food extended and like trying to lay it out in front of it. As if it lets me get close enough, I would probably get within about 15 feet and drop it, like lay it really carefully in about an arm's length in front of me, and then just sit crouched.
As you approach it with the food, its head kind of pops up and its ears move upwards, watching you with vested interest as you kind of approach the base of the boulder, again about 15 feet away before throwing the food and just kind of backing away. It stands now up at the boulder before jumping down to the ground, looking up towards you. It approaches the meat. Let's see. Everybody but Ashren rolled really good on their perception, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. As it approaches the meat, it looks up towards you. Winter, do you stay there next to the meat or do you back away?
I'm gonna get back maybe like 5 feet, but still stay like fairly close.
As you're there, those of you, now that this thing has gotten closer, you notice a translucency to its image before you hear the creaking and the moaning of bark from one of the nearby trees, as what looked to just be a mound of leaves beneath the trees quickly. A mosshound, much like this one, gets up, shaking the leaves off of it, before its appearance now resembles the hound nearby, and you recognize that what you were looking at before was an illusion, as this thing moves away from the leaves and over towards the meat. Its stench, what you thought was a bog nearby, is heavy in floral notes. It smells like you dipped your hand into your garden and took a whiff of the soil now that it has moved from its place of slumber. As it approaches the meat, it looks down towards it, and one long, alien to you, snake-like tongue grabs the meat without moving its head downward and pulls it up to its mouth. You notice thorns on the side of the tongue as it laps it upwards into its mouth and begins eating not only the meat, but chewing the bone whole as its mouth splits open into 4 separate areas and slowly begins to engulf this chunk of meat. It sits there for about a minute, simply chewing upon the food, seemingly distracted. This is an opportunity. If you'd like to do something to it, you can, or if you're allowing it to have this meal, it eats. Everyone just waiting?
I'm just gonna kind of sit and watch it for a little bit and then give it like a nod and kind of back up towards the group a little bit more.
Brie, you get another GFY from words. Haha. So, just FYI.
Oh.
As Winter backs on up, the rest of the group, are you allowing this thing to eat its meal? Okay.
Affirmative.
As Winter, you back up maybe another 15, 20 feet to where you're nearby Ordell at this point. Ashrin and Ritter are nearby each other. Ordell and Winter, and then Emma and XC up in the tree, though Emma's in the ring. The beast finally finishes, hinging its jaw back to a more wolf-like form before it walks over to you, Winter, and tilts its head sideways, much like a real hound would, looking at you quizzically up and down before it says, "We're not here to burn."
You're not to burn? Me? I do like to burn things, but I wouldn't burn you.
As you say, you do like to burn things. The moss and the thorns on its back shoot kind of upwards, and it now kind of prowls and moves backwards a little bit.
Well, I wouldn't burn you. You're just lovely.
Roll an animal handling.
Okay, this is good.
Is it?
Yes. It's dirty 20 again.
That is good, actually. As you say, "I wouldn't burn you," it kind of looks at you and says, "Would you burn my forest?"
No, I think that's I only burn people that seem really, really bad. Or that don't like things for no good reason.
The man you travel with is very bad. He burns many things in the forest.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that right now.
It now does that very wolf pack like thing where it circles around the group, kind of sizing you up as it keeps looking you down, but talking to you and never losing its gaze.
Can Emma come out of the ring at this point?
Yeah,
Because she's been trying to look through the ring to see what's going on, but I can assume, like, since it's like a weird focal point on there, it can see things up close but not far away.
oh yeah, it's definitely a fisheye lens.
so-
Very difficult for long distances.
So she's tired of just looking through the ring, so she's gonna pop out. I don't know how she's
just
gonna
let you
react
know-
to being in the tree though.
Yeah. I up in the tree. Yeah.
XC, you give me a description. Are you at the top of, I guess, the log of the tree, or are you in a branch?
No, I'm um as flat as I can along a branch.
Along a branch. Good. Emma,
Oh, no.
then
Trying
I
to
need
put
a
my
dex
gunner along it
save.
as well.
Uh-oh. I got a +2. Hey, all right. That's a 16.
16. Not a problem then. You apparate yourself to a nearby branch before barely holding on with your foot and then laying down quickly on the branch. It causes kind of a ruffle. You can see the wolf ear kind of turns, but it doesn't lose its gaze from you, Winter, as it continues speaking. But Emma, you are now out and holding on to the branch.
I want to actively like try and climb down as well.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. But yes, you say you're not really sure how you feel about that yet. The wolf says, "That's why I wanted to speak with you, all of you. I've seen him," kind of looking over to the Black Archer, "in here before. He doesn't burn, he gives back to the forest. But they burn and leave ash in their wake. Will you treat the forest good?"
I think there's lovely things in the forest. And we are traveling at the advice of the Black Archer, so we will care for the forest as he does. Right?
Yes, of course. Good. Very good. I'm glad to hear that. You puzzle me, all of you.
Well, you're quite puzzling yourself, buddy. That tongue's interesting.
I would say that yours is. Why do you travel through my forest?
Ordell's looking for answers, right, Ordell?
Yes. We're traveling so we can learn things.
Answers. I like answers. What answers do you seek? Perhaps I can give you some if you give me some in return.
Elaborate what you mean. I do not know if I have information that would be useful to you.
I am stuck in this forest, alone, in a world that is not my own. It is rare that I find peaceful folk willing to talk. I miss games. If you would indulge me in a game, I would reward you greatly and allow you on your way, and even give you answers.
A game sounds fun, Ordell.
I would enjoy a game as well, but what would be the terms of this? As I have heard things about Feywild games.
Have you? If you're familiar, then you will know. I only ask that you answer my riddles too. If you do not answer correctly, I will hit you with the answer. If not, I will give you the answer.
Fine. Ordell's gonna like put his maul down. He's gonna drag like a log over and sit across from this this friend. You will only hit me if you are hitting anyone in this game.
I will hit the group, as there is one of me and many of you. I think that's fair. You could attack me at any time. I am a small, helpless hound in the forest, after all.
I do not believe that.
I feel like Emma falls the last like 10 feet out of the tree, trying to get down. And then hearing that he'll hit the entire group, is now trying to subtly climb back up the tree to the ring, but can't find like a grip.
The wolf looks up briefly. That includes the skeleton and the mechanical man. I've been traveling with you for a day now. And please, indulge me in this, you all.
Fine.
I'd like to play.
Mm.
Well then, a deal it is, and I will give you the answers that you seek if I have them.
I doubt you will, so I will give others the questions.
Excellent. I am very amenable and an honest dealer. As such, to prove my honesty, I will allow you to ask your questions first before we play my game. As
Alright.
such, it is 7:51. Why don't we take a quick little 7-minute break? We'll come back at 7:58. Oh, it's 7:52. We'll still come back at 7:58. Make sure you enter the giveaway. We're still going to do the giveaway at the end of the night because it's a really big one from Serenity because it's really awesome. But make sure you enter it, and we're going to come right back while the players can think of questions to ask this thing before the riddles begin. We'll be back in just a few moments. Bye.
Very cool. Way to go.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a Brie and a Jakey who are still on break, but they're coming back soon. The sooner the better, because the riddles will start. Brie crashes in. The sooner the better. The riddles will start soon. But the Hound does posit it forward, saying that he will answer your questions before it asks you his.
I'm gonna minimize chat. Sorry, chat. I love you, but I don't want any help.
If I see that you answer immediately after chat gives you the answer, I'm going to give GFYs.
Wait. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Hold on. We could just change
All
it
right,
to
there's chat. Boom.
Boom.
we could change it
Gone.
to chat for like 5
And I'm gonna
minutes.
keep my hands up here.
You could change
Yeah,
it.
I don't have chat up.
It's fine to leave chat because I want people to be able to see the guesses on the YouTube and stuff. So I think it's fine. But I'm interested to see if chat gets it before y'all anyway. But honor system from the players. Though, Alex, I really need honor system from you. All right, man? I'm looking at you. You're not playing Salt, to be fair. You'll be honest as XC. Right. So it posits that it will answer questions that you have before giving you its questions. What questions do you ask this Hound that it may know the answers to?
Unexpectedly, XC's gonna go first.
Do you ask it from the tree?
No, I'll jump down and walk towards the group. It knows I'm there.
As you hop down, Emma, you are shaken in your branch and almost fall off. Barely able to hold on as XC.
Isn't Emma on the ground already?
Down. No, she climbed back up.
She's at least attempting to.
So then do you climb back down, Emma, or
question.
stay up there?
Yeah, she'll climb back down. See an XC come down.
Okay. Yes, Metal Man.
You invoke some form of similarity to me. Please explain.
I have no true similarity to you. You are made of metal, and I am of the forest. But I could look like you if you'd like for me to. I can only answer the questions that I know the answer to, but if that is what you are asking, before you begin to see the quills on its back turn a silvery chrome, much like you might have seen in a previous campaign, before quickly fading back to a mossy texture and appearance.
Negative. I will reword for your biological brain. When I look at you, there seems to be a understanding or resemblance, but I have never seen or met anything like you before. Please explain.
Well, come closer. Let me get a better look at you.
I step closer.
Okay. As you approached this Hound, the height of the tree made it seem maybe even larger than it is. This isn't much bigger than a regular dog or hound that you would have seen. You were kind of afraid that it was going to be this large beast and that your eyes were playing tricks on you based on its appearance, but it's quite small. It goes up to your waist at height, and it's quite thin. As it approaches, you kind of get a better look into its eyes. It says, I don't know what it is about you either, but something smells familiar. Have you been to the Fae?
I have no recollection of the Fae.
Your archer friend's been to the Fae. I can smell it all over him, but you smell different somehow. He leaves it there at different.
I
before
understand.
humming.
Because you also process my thoughts different. And I leave it there as well.
It kind of circles around you. With XC's kind of guard mode, you're very uncomfortable by this, as it does a quick little glance around you, sniffing up and down. I don't know what it is, but if you stay with me a while in the forest, maybe we can figure it out.
Without
is-
responding, I step back to the group.
What other questions do you have of me? Ritter kind of holds his head down now a little bit, with his hood a little bit more over his eyes.
Emma's gonna cock her head a little bit and look at this thing. And what do you know of deities and the sorts?
I mean, I know of them. What do you know of deities?
I'm looking for one in particular.
Who?
Merkel.
Michael?
Yes.
I've heard of Michael. Old, ancient. Did it die a long time ago?
I'm sorry, one more time on that last one. I'm sure I don't think I heard that right.
God of Death seemed to not be able to keep itself alive. Didn't it die some time ago? I could have sworn I've heard a traveler or two in this forest mention it.
Emma's gonna kind of slink back to a tree on that answer.
This doesn't seem to please you. I'm sorry.
If no one else goes, I'll
Mhm.
just look and I'll step up. Do you know of an object that can, or have you seen anywhere of an object that can do a true resurrection?
Not here, not in my forest, but yes, there are objects that do that.
But you haven't seen one personally?
Not here, but nearby and around. I think there
How
resides
nearby?
two in this country.
How nearby?
Well, one is nearby the forest itself, the old capital. And the other is in the new capital.
Jackie asking, new capital, old capital?
You don't know.
Oh,
You
so we
could
don't. Okay.
ask around about it, and you could ask him more, but you don't know.
I'm not too familiar. What is the new and the old?
The old is where the Coracrucians once lived. What was once the seat of their world, but now is much more like a tomb. And the new holds Rova to the northeast, nearby the floating fortress. None of which will greet you with open arms, though maybe two of you, looking to Emma and Ordell.
Oh. Jackie can't write fast enough. Thank you. That's the most information I've gotten ever. Thank you.
Would you answer why?
To right a wrong. And I just start like backing up into the shadows.
So, any other questions, or may I begin?
I'm fascinated by you and by creatures that are not like we would find on our plane. Is there a way to travel between the planes? Is there a way
Of course.
for us? How?
Magic? There are those here, possibly, who could get you from one plane to another. And there are portals. One to the Frost Plains, I hear. I don't know of any to the Feywild from here. That's why I remain.
Are you unable to get home?
I, alas, am stuck here, but I have no desire to go home. I was once a small fish in a large ocean of trees, but now a great, big fish in my own ocean.
Ordell, do you have any questions that you want to ask?
I have one.
As Winter posits that, you all hear a scream of pain come from the north. One of your paladin friends, the wolf, nods its head and says, "Do not worry about that. They're not actually hurt. They just think that they are."
Can I roll insight on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate this.
19.
Hasn't lied to you thus far. Its expression and tone hasn't changed and seems to be telling you the truth. Doesn't seem to have a reason to lie to you.
Ordell reaches into his bag to the very bottom and pulls out like a piece, like a burlap thing that's wrapped around like a small piece of stone that's about like a shoebox size. And when he unfurls the burlap, it's a full piece of like glossy obsidian that has etchings and things on it, but it looks scratched, dented, and it's marred. And he goes and puts it in front of the creature.
When is this from, and what is this?
And Rybo, I'm gonna send you this is the text from my thing.
Okay. Everyone, let me look at this briefly. Gaia. Oh. Is there a specific language that it's in?
I would be in giant.
Okay. I wish I could help you, but I cannot read this language. Nor do I know much about rock and stone.
Does the smell on it tell you anything?
It smells like it was once hot, but isn't anymore.
Ordell's gonna wrap it up in burlap again.
I don't think I have any questions for you then.
Wonderful. Just wonderful. Do you, before he looks at Ritter, who's kind of slunken back at being called out for having visited the Feywild? Well, excellent. Then I will answer no more, and you shall answer me. I am excited for a game and ready to be indulged. Are you ready? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So during this time, you're in character. There's no asking questions. There's no breaking. You must answer the riddle in the way that he posits it. I will ask you 2 questions. The first, you will answer for me. The first riddle is, in addition to the sun, this is what enables plants to grow. It's a 4-letter word, and it comes before forest and bow. There are 3 minutes. If you don't give him an answer, he will reply.
Can you repeat it? Sorry, Rybo, because I just want to hear the wording.
No worry. And remember, if I see you answer by looking at chat, I will GFY the hell out of you. In addition to
I think I have an answer.
In addition to the sun, this is what enables plants to grow. It's a 4-letter word, and it becomes before forest and bow.
Excuse me. What should we call you?
I don't need a name. I won't be seeing you again.
Oh, okay. Can we have a huddle, please, nameless hound?
Of course.
Guys, come here. Is it? I think we all might know what it is, but I think we're all scared to answer.
Okay, what do you think it is?
Is it like soil?
Oh, that's good. I was thinking seed.
I was thinking
that's good too.
rain because it comes from the sky and you mentioned the sun.
Oh no, that's good as well.
You're muted,
Emma
Alex.
stops.
I
Emma
think
stops,
Ordell,
looks at
you need to add
Ordell.
the word to the word. So rainbow does formulate a correct word, but
Rain forest as well.
does also correct the word.
Oh, before the bow. Yes, it's rainbow. You clarify that for me, XC. I will say it, and if we get hurt, I will take the
Well,
blame.
But he's gonna hurt all of us anyway. But I think that's great. I think we should continue with the huddle system. Okay. Go, Odell. And I give him a little pat on the butt.
It is rain.
It is rain, indeed. A simple riddle to test your basic knowledge, and
Oh shit.
you should be proud. As
Negative winter shit is not the correct 4-letter word.
Thanks, Exy.
As it says this, you begin to see something seeming to almost expunge out from its neck and appear as if it was once hidden by the moss. It looks to be a collar, almost, of thick black leather is now around its neck. A small brass connector on the bottom seems to hold something, though magic obscures the vision of what it's holding. You can tell that there's something there, but almost like invisibility in a video game, you're able to see through and around it and light bend, but you can't see exactly what it is. Then I only have one more riddle for you. This one's a doozy, but if you get it right, I have a gift for you, for entertaining me for the day. Again, 3 minutes, and I expect an answer. Large as a mountain, small as a pea, endlessly swimming in a waterless sea. One more time. Large as a mountain, small as a pea, endlessly swimming in a waterless sea.
Ordell pulls everyone in for the huddle.
Okay,
What do you think?
literally
I-
nothing.
I mean, my only guess was I was going to guess Earth. We are very small. But we are large at the same time. And everything around us, we are like in the ocean. That is the only guess I have.
Oh, I was thinking cloud, because clouds can be as big as a mountain, but maybe not as small as a pea.
As big as a mountain, as small as a pea.
Endlessly swimming through it.
And waterless sea.
Endlessly swimming through a waterless sea.
Do you think it could be a play on the letters P and C?
What do you mean?
Well, it's very odd that a riddle would include letters in it as well. I could be way off on this as well, but it does mention the letter P and possibly the letter C.
Could it? I think that possibly like the Earth or the material plane. I don't. But how is it as small as a pea? In contrast to everything else.
I believe this is a biological answer. Something to do with what you call thought, thinking, idea, maybe. An idea can be as large as a mountain and as small as a pea, and it is endlessly swimming through your consciousness, waterless sea.
There are many very effective answers to this.
You have 1 minute remaining. A smirk now grows across its face.
Oh.
A thought is pretty good. I don't know.
Didn't at the beginning it said it would beat us with the answer, did it not? Like, is it going to attack us with something?
Wait. It is a thought. I'm not answering this. I'm still saying this to the huddle. XC, it mentioned earlier that if they are fighting, yes, and they're not actually fighting, they are not in pain. It's going to attack our minds. How could it attack us with the earth? I mean, it could rain vines, but...
Negative, I will compute this as myself. I believe the answer is something smaller than the planet we are on.
Time's up. I would like an answer. One answer.
Ruckus, quickly, what do you think the answer is?
Wait, I was supposed to think?
You're a part of this team, are you not?
I'm not getting hit by anything before it kind of disappears into...
Ixie! I give him a little butt tap.
Meteorite.
Oh. What?
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 Do you answer with that?
That's what he thinks thoughts are.
That's what I just said. Meteorite.
I don't know if that's...
Oh, sorry, that's a malfunction on his behalf. I pat his back. An idea or a thought?
Was it a thought or is it a meteorite?
Well, you can think about meteorites.
Is it specifically a thought about meteorites?
No.
Well, then is it a
Wait, are you
thought?
really going to ding us on the semantics of the exact wording of this?
It's a riddle. I haven't played games in a while. Give me this. Is it a thought, a meteorite, or a thought about meteorites?
Emma is now bracing.
It is a thought.
It is a meteorite.
The answer seems split.
Emma's gonna curl up in a ball.
I need one answer. If you cannot decide on one, I will decide on one for you.
Will you decide on the right one for us?
I will not.
What one were you thinking about deciding on?
Perhaps a thought about a meteorite, it seems to say sarcastically.
I
would like to ask my question now. What else smiles?
We're done with your questions. I need one definitive answer. And since time is up, I would say that it has to be between the two. A thought or a meteorite. There are others who have not voiced their opinions.
Just go with thought. It sounds good. I don't know.
The skeleton says thought. What does
don't
the
wanna
human
die.
and the elf think? And what does the
Again.
ranger?
Yeah.
What is the ranger
Ritter, why
say?
didn't you say anything in this group huddle?
I'm not answering. I'm not going to be responsible for this.
I vote thought.
Fine, XC. I trust you. A meteorite.
Oh, we're all gonna die. Emma is bracing.
2 for 2. 2 for thought. 2 for meteorite.
Oh, stop. What did Ritter say?
He said he was staying out of this.
Can I stay out of it too?
You can, but if you don't have a definitive answer, he's going to choose one.
Tiebreaker. Tiebreaker.
Go for it, Brie.
Winter.
Winter's gonna start freaking out and looking between her friends, and then, can you guys roll persuasion?
I'm gonna use knowledge from a past life so I can basically, because I only have a +1. It's not bad.
No.
If you want
I am
Ritter
not
to give
very-
you a hint, Winter, he can roll for it, but you won't know if he's confident in his answer or not.
It just seems like there's two people two sides of the party trying to persuade Winter a certain way. So I'd like to see who does a better job of
I
looking at
can
her.
tell you, it's not Emma because she is curled up in a ball, ready to die.
I got a 14 plus 5 for my knowledge from a past life plus is it 1 or 2 plus 1, so
20.
unnatural 20.
20 from
19.
Ordell, 19 from Ashrin, Emma, and XC. Yeah, I like this. Roll your persuasion rolls.
Emma defaulted to no.
Okay, Emma defaulted to
have
no.
I
Reasons
rolled.
because
It
my-
was not a default.
Okay, the 19 versus 20.
Winter's
Ordell
Winter's
seems to
gonna-
be more persuasive, as Ordell says. Winter.
I do just say, Winter. It'll be okay regardless. But I trust XC.
Winter's
So I
gonna go
hope you'll
and
trust me.
hold Ordell's hand and go, meteorite.
As the hound stands there for a moment, you hear a sudden thunderous roar above you, and a sprinkle of rain taps your shoulder, beginning to pour loudly now before you look up and see a bright light in the stars. At first, it's quite a distance. It would be only about a pea in your eye.
Mhm.
Before it gets larger and larger, approaching very rapidly down towards you, as you see pink fire engulfing this small comet. I'll give Meteorite a good answer for that one. We'll count that. Before it falls downwards, nearing you all, before slowing its descent and shrinking down, and floating gently below the collar on this hound. Well done, though, I must say, quite indecisive of you. I would work on that. I will not be the only one to test your decisiveness. Before, seemingly without a hand, a clasp is undone and the collar falls to the ground. The hound begins to fade into mist nearby before you begin to hear his voice all around you. He says, "Proceed, though I am not the only owner of this forest, just this small southern part."
Can I go and take a look at the collar?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
I'm actively trying to summon Ruckus back. You're like, you little son of a bitch.
Is it okay?
No.
Oh, and then it goes back down.
Damn it.
As Winter, you walk over to the collar. You notice that this heavy bit of leather, as Winter tries to get some inspiration, which she definitely does, cute kiddo. You reach down to, no, they were not Rybo originals. I specifically looked for ones based around earthy and stars stuff, because this was originally going to be a Starcaster druid, but I like the idea of letting you all choose who was going to give the riddles. As you look down and see this collar, collar it could be, but it also could be a necklace if desired. There's people who wear chokers, right? And as you reach down, do you touch it and pick it up? That's the title of one of the other books. Oh, hey. Yeah, Jackie's got it. Jackie's wearing the collar.
I'm nervous to touch this item because historically me and picking things up don't go well. But I will get a handkerchief and like pick it up with the handkerchief.
Okay.
If you want, Winter, I can hold it for you. I already have a cursed jaw.
What? What?
I was cursed by that storm giant skeleton. It put something in my jaw.
Why?
If there's words in there, don't ever read them.
What? Why is this the first that we're... What? Why are you only just telling me this?
I just thought of it now that you're picking up a possibly cursed item again. Why do you keep picking up cursed items? I don't think you should touch this.
I will touch it then. It was on fire.
I'm
Fire
holding
seems to
it
be a
in a
recurring
handkerchief.
motif.
My protocol to protect Ordell kicks in, and I step in front of Ordell.
I'm holding it in a handkerchief.
Gimme.
Winter's holding it currently in a handkerchief as Ordell goes to grab the thing, but XC stands in front, trying to prevent Ordell from grabbing the collar outside of the handkerchief. What are you doing?
And then I'll reach out and grab it.
XC, you grasp this collar. Now, you're entirely made out of metal, correct?
Not correct, but close enough.
Close enough. That's just good backstory. You pick up the collar and nothing happens. You're able to take a look at it. You're able to observe it in any way, shape, or form. But it is a black leather collar with brass clasp on the back and a brass holding that doesn't actually touch this small comet that appears to look, for us, what would almost look like a golf ball, but is a pockmarked, almost miniature moon that has a faint pink glow to it and hovers maybe half an inch away from the metal clasp that would normally hold something or a jewel of some sort on the end of it. You now have the comet collar.
The comet collar.
See,
I am
has
not
it?
dead, and I hand it.
Had-
To, I reach my hand out to Ordell if he wants to grab it.
How does it feel, man?
Ashrin, what did you say?
I was just asking if Ordell was the one that had it.
Okay.
I mean, not Ordell. Actually.
XC hands it over to Ordell.
I don't know if it's my style, but I'm going to try this.
I'm gonna clasp it on seating. What happens?
Okay. You
Ooh.
put it around your neck. You got a big, thick neck, so it's kind of hard to get there, but it seemingly stretches to fit as needed, almost magically. This leather itself, if you were to try and pull against it, would have no give, but as you move it backwards, it seems to stretch to fit you. As you put it on, feel pretty, like you have a very nice necklace on.
Ordell, you look gorgeous.
It does look very good.
Yes, I do look good. XC, well done.
Yeah, that was actually really good, XC. See, it's good to have an autonomous. Yep.
So can we agree to never play games
XC
with Faye?
XC looks to Ashrin and can't really wink. Slightly nods, and then looks back to everyone else.
To be honest, though, I don't think it was entirely telling the truth the entire time. Anyway, I mean, it told me my deity is dead, but clearly that's not the case. I've been talking with them, so.
Emma,
I can talk to dead things. Maybe you're talking to dead things too.
Emma, do you have full confirmation you're speaking to your god?
Obviously.
How?
I mean, it's said everywhere in the stars, and it was beautiful, and that's something my deity would do.
Emma, can you show me that trick you do where you make silent pictures appear?
Oh.
What do you create?
I make little meteors.
Floating around are small mimics of that comet.
No particular reason, I was just curious.
As I give Emma a very knowing look.
Nah, my deity is alive, and I will keep it that way. That creature was obviously wrong.
Ordell, you're still wearing this currently, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Just wondered. What is your wisdom?
I'm gonna see what
by the
happens if
way?
I touch my wisdom.
Yeah, just curious.
Oh God. It's 13.
Good. Just gonna write
About
that
to
down.
go up.
But just wondered. Cool.
Ordell. Yeah, I'm gonna tap the little meteor thing. So it's just like floating in front of it, right?
Yeah.
Ordell does that little thing where he's just like,
It spins.
It does. It spins almost like one of those magnetic toys that floats harmlessly above nothing, that there's no friction to slow it down. As you spin it, it begins to move at a very rapid pace. Some of the pink hue to it almost falling off in small puffs, almost like pollen off of a plant.
Hey,
Hmm.
Ryan,
Hey, Alex.
the meteor spinny thing on the necklace.
Mm-hmm.
What size is it? Let's say compare it to say bullet sized.
Why?
If a bullet is a
Everything
marble,
has to
this is a golf ball. It's a
Okay.
bit larger, but
think-
you know how cannons work. If you just expand the barrel a little bit, you do whatever you want if you have ideas.
Get the blunderbuss.
Ordell, do you feel any different?
I'm going to be honest. I've been, as we've been walking, testing food to see if I can taste it, which I kind of can. So only thing I feel is gassy.
As Ordell's gonna walk towards where he heard the screaming.
Do you feel like a queen?
Always.
As Ordell snaps over his head.
Everyone, are
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
following Ordell?
follow that fancy boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at him with that necklace. Woo woo, love it.
You walk over a small ridge, and once you're at the top of it, you see your 7 paladin friends laying on the forest floor. None of them appear to be hurt, but all laying just exhausted on the ground, arms out, breathing in heavily. As they see you, Elijah kind of scrounges to his elbow before falling backwards.
Buddy?
It's rough fighting illusions, isn't it?
This forest, it plays tricks on you. Swinging. Adam thought he lost his arm, but it was just that's an illusion. How did you know? Did you all come across an illusion where you were as well? I worried.
Yes.
Emma's gonna cast silent image around, just like with little
What do you make?
creatures just
What do the creatures
glittering
look like?
about, like butterflies, but little imps with butterfly wings, I guess.
Oh, well, this horrible creatures of Emma's imagination suddenly appear tiny like butterflies, but imps and scrounging outwards, making no noise because it is silent image as they reach out towards the paladins before flying and doing nothing to them as they rush towards their heart. The paladins brace, but
Familiar with illusions.
oh,
Well, I also lost something when you lost your arm. Look. Isn't that crazy? Mind-blowing.
Sasha.
Put your arms back. As I slap him on the arm, kind of give him like one of those big, like almost a little too hard pats on the arm. But he was talking about he lost his arm.
You hear some chuckles from some of the paladins in a bit of brevity. Sasha uses the hilt of her sword to pull herself up before walking towards you, and she goes, "Wait, can you show me how you did that with the finger? Did you?" And she pulls her finger forward and hits you right on the nose with it, which causes you to kind of stammer back. A few of the other paladins laugh. Elijah does not laugh at her hurting you.
See, everyone, Sasha does have a sense of humor. You can all stop saying that now.
Winter's gonna open her book and scribble something down.
And Emma's gonna cast silent image again and make a little bit larger one of those imps with butterfly wings just like appear in front of Sasha's face and just like
It won't be able to make noise because of silent image.
well but that kind of like vibe.
Yeah.
I like to think that Emma does. That Emma goes.
As you do so, instinctually, Sasha turns and you see she runs her fingers along her blade, and as she does so, sparks begin to crest her gloves, and she reaches her hands outward and sends a jet of burning fire from her hands off outwards towards the image. It obviously affects this knot, but she now realizes that it is one, and you see this jet of flames. She pulls backwards and says, "I hate you all. I feel no need to hide that anymore," before she slides her sword back in its scabbard.
Spooky butterflies as Emma walks away.
Sasha helps a few of the others up to their feet, all now standing upwards. Elijah, so you're all okay then?
Yes.
Good. I'm tired. We'll just walk until sundown, then it shouldn't be long. And we'll stop for the night. Sweet.
Are you sure you don't want to just rest here? You all seem exhausted.
I'm not staying wherever these illusions were. I want to go a little further.
All right.
Before Elijah comes over to Winter and says, "You ready?" Holding his hand
Sure
up.
am, buddy.
He grabs your hands and walks. You can tell he's no longer kind of like holding your hand to lead you anymore. You're almost leading him in the walk forward, just out of pure tiredness that he is here. He's basically swinging a big giant sword at nothing, and so had no like stop to it, just pure energy throwing out to nothing. Very tiring for all of them, especially he exuded some magic on his sword there, so he is a bit more hurt than others. But with that, you all begin walking again. It's not much longer until it gets to be sundown, and Elijah finds what he deems to be a suitable spot to sleep for the night. He recommends there be double watch, no one person watching tonight after the illusions were doing their thing. And as such, each buddy system to stay fresh will have to take a watch at one point tonight. So since we're going on to whose nights do what, Ordell, you wanted to ask and learn a little bit more about the paladins that you're walking with. Well, you learn their names. You learn that you're traveling, obviously, with Elijah and Sasha, but you're also traveling with Adam, Ricky, William, Myduke, and Rythus, based on what chat gave me. So we now officially have Jackie's boyfriend in the game, and if people don't defend him, well, I mean, that's just rude.
I thought the Black Archer was already in the game.
That's Adam's self-insert into the game. He asked me to put him in there for you, you know.
Watch Ashrin kill him.
Wow.
She doesn't trust these people.
So you've now officially learned everybody else's names. Is there anything else you were wanting to talk to these people about tonight, Ordell?
Yeah, Ordell's actually gonna sit down with Sasha, and Ordell's gonna like kind of drop the antagonizing for a bit, and just do that same thing he did like when they first started traveling. He's gonna like pull up a chair and sit in front of her
As she's like chewing on a haunch of jerky. Well, it looks like somebody has a fanciness for jewelry. Now noting your collar, since you were wearing the crown at one point.
I collect odd things.
as I look back at the party.
I think the word you were looking for is strange.
That too.
As I give Winter a head shuffle.
I think the word you're looking for is estranged.
I give Exy a head shuffle.
King, 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 king.
Sasha, I want to ask you some questions. And in turn, I will answer your questions. We've been buddies this entire trip. I've been antagonizing you, and you still walk beside me. You have full choice to walk away. But I feel like you have questions. But I'm going to start this question answer by saying, I have a great deal of respect for you, no matter how much you piss me off.
Well, I agree with one of those things towards you.
That is fine. I've done nothing to earn your trust, nor your friendship, so I don't expect that. But I would like to actually speak to you and understand you. And if at the end of this you still hate me just as much, I see the one over there picking his toenails. I'll go trade him partners. Then you don't have to speak to me prior.
This sounds like the best deal you've put forward. You're all in earshot and can hear this. Ordell basically turned around in the spot that he was sitting at, from y'all's small circle of eating and sitting around, and kind of turn to where he's talking to Sasha, and she has to kind of turn back from her group to look, as there's like the two fires from the camp nearby, so everyone can hear what's going on here, though there are still some conversations kind of gently going on between others. But Ordell's a big guy; it's kind of hard not to hear. Fine.
We'll do this the way I remember doing this.
Ordell's gonna pull a flask that the party's seen on his side, and he's gonna pour 2 cups.
This is a drink I drank when I was first risen. I had no sense of taste, now I'm gaining that again. This is almost straight alcohol. You may ask a question. I will ask a question back and forth. You may answer it, or take a sip. I will tell you right now, this drink is vile, but it is very potent and strong.
I don't drink.
Do you accept these terms?
Fine. Then Ordell pours it all into his glass and pours her a glass of water.
Ask your question.
Sentiment. My first. Where are you from, Sasha?
Not here. South of here.
Who trained you?
I was not trained. I was a smith. I used a sword when nobody was looking in my free time, but other than that, I have no training.
So you made steel before you welded it?
I did.
What did you leave behind before on this pilgrimage?
Nothing. I worked at a shop, and now I don't. Now I'm here.
What do you hope to find at the end of this pilgrimage?
A world without this. Looking around at old Korra in itself.
And what if you don't find that?
Then I imagine I will have met my end trying.
I have one final question. Then you may ask me some or none. What do you like, Sasha? Genuinely. What do you enjoy?
A lot of things, actually. I'm quite a cheerful person, I think. You hear come from Rythus in the circle nearby.
When he laughs, Ordell turns dead serious.
Was something funny to you?
No, sir. No, not at all.
And he just gives his attention back to Sasha.
I find myself to be a very cheerful person when I'm in an area in which I can be cheerful. Here, I'm surrounded by dead things and illusions. This is new to me, and forgive my hesitation, I've also been surrounded by many liars as of late, and possibly as of now. Looking kind of at the group.
That's fair. But what? You said you have things that surround you that make you cheerful? What are those things? If you had a day to decide, no timeline or whatever, say all of these people gone, or just your friends, the ones you value here, what would be there on this day?
I'd rather not say. You can try and persuade her if you want to roll a persuasion.
Ordell's persuasion, I'm going to roll it, but Ordell's persuasion is going to be him, like, pushing the water cup towards her to basically be like, then drink or don't answer. But he's going to roll it anyway in case, because, I don't know. I use my last knowledge from a past life because this isn't going to come out. Oh, no, we long rested. Okay, anyway.
This is about to be your long rest. You're currently...
No, I know, but I've been canceling because we've been doing, like, individual days.
Yeah.
So that was a 14 plus a 6 plus 1. So 21.
21? Okay. How do you... So, yeah, you say you kind of push the water cup towards her in a display of, well, if you don't want to, you have to drink.
Basically, yeah, he's kind of like, okay, then don't answer. Just play the game properly, basically.
A few of the other paladins kind of give a school like ooh, hoo, hoo, trying to goad her along, and that you think kind of I think art I like art and unicorns.
Wardell doesn't say anything.
You hear some whispers from the other paladins. You can barely make out them asking, "What she think? What did she say?"
I too value bloodshed and conquest. Good battle and the ashes afterwards.
Roll a deception.
Natural 20.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's Sasha, of course. She looks. You can see a blush coming on her face from the firelight nearby. It looks just red from the fire, but you can notice a bit of a difference there if you're paying attention.
Yeah. No. Wardell slides his drink towards him.
Your questions? Or you can have your new partner early. Your choice.
Were you risen by any of these here, specifically her, pointing to Winter?
No. I woke up on my own. I could hear someone talking when I rose. It was a woman's voice. She spoke a language I did not understand,
Sure, it wasn't
but
her
it
then?
sounded... No.
Did you raise him? I know that you... Yeah, she asked to Winter.
Oh, I can't do that yet.
Oh, okay.
And wow, like even if I could, I don't think I could do anything quite as magnificent as Ordell.
You could do... I mean, fine. She kind of implying like...
I agree, she could do better.
Yeah, she chuckles at this. Again, some of the other paladins do, but Elijah is taken aback. How dare people laugh at that? For she seems to have a few other questions, mostly kind of going around questions about each of you. She says, that one there, pointing to Ashran. I've heard tales. I live far too far south, but I've heard tales of what elves with hair like that have done. Are you here because of your war crimes?
Are you pointing to? Oh, sorry. Was she pointing to me, or she
Yeah,
asking
she's
them
pointing to
about?
Ashran.
She's asking
Oh, sorry.
Ordell, but she's pointing to Ashran.
Oh, okay, okay.
She's like, is Ashran here because of her war crimes?
No. Ashran is here because I had a home outside, inside the walls. And that is likely surprising given my visage. We were abducted in my home by individuals that did not care who we were. We had everything taken from us and we were thrown outside the walls.
From what I've seen, that one pointing to XC seems to own that one pointing to Emma. Has that always been the case?
Emma has free will, but the ring she utilizes is a home for her, a vessel. XC is holding it, but we each take turns with it. As Emma's our friend and we like her company, but Emma likes to feel safe. If you had a home such as this, you would like that as well, I assume.
I guess final question then. If we go to Cavity and we meet Ignis, and he asks you to lay your life down for the Lord of Flames, would you do it?
I have died many, many times.
I don't want... If you answer with long words, I want a yes or a no.
I answer with long words because there is a point to every one of them I say. I have died many times, and if there is an end to that death that involves answers, resolution, and whatever this light is, freeing this land, I will. Because I am not afraid of it.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion.
14 plus 1, 15.
15.
Actually, I'm gonna use my, because I had one earlier I used with scary Moss Cujo, so I'm gonna use my last one. So this is my third of the day. So 15 plus 4, so 19.
I rolled an 18, so good thing you did use it. She looks at you sitting there, then before she uses her sword still in its scabbard again to kind of pull herself up, she holds her sword in her left hand, where she looks down at you and says, "Then we are on the same journey," and reaches her hand out to clasp against yours.
Ordell Predator handshakes Sasha because she's cool.
She nods her head before sitting back down. Says, "I'm done with the game, but thanks for the answers."
Thank you for indulging me.
She, like, as she's like kind of sitting down while she's on one knee, she leans over just to where you can hear and whispers in your ear, "I'd like to know where you found that necklace. Don't think I noticed or didn't notice that that's new."
You had illusory trials. We had a creature that brought us this. It was similar trials to yours. One that likely ended in death. This is what it left instead of the death. I don't know what it is or what it does, but I'm wearing it in case something dire comes of it.
She nods before sitting back down and joining her friends at the fire. As general merriment is had, though there is always a constant watch for the night, the rest of the night is a much-needed set of relaxation, though watch will be kept. Winter, yes?
Can I quickly check in with Emma and see if she did happen to find those books?
Yes, absolutely. XC is... Emma, did you ever go back in the ring? Yeah, Emma is out then.
I believe Emma was going to show me her deity.
There was a lot that Emma's doing tonight.
Yeah, there's more conversations that are to be had. But so we'll say currently XC and Emma are next to each other on the fire. Winter, you're planning to talk to Emma, and then Emma can come back and converse with XC, and then there's something that we will do with Ashrin as well. But yes, Winter, you approach Emma, who's sitting at the fire next to XC.
Emma, how'd you go with those books? You know, did
Ryan, if I can I have used a spell slot to use the wrist pocket spell, the one that lets me put things in like a little temporal space and then pull them back out?
Yeah, sure.
About an hour. Okay. Emma, she almost like reaches up right behind Winter and pulls out 3 books, almost seemingly out of thin air.
Winter, like a child doing the coin behind your ear trick. Emma suddenly behind your head pulls out 3 books.
Oh.
She's gonna hand the first one over, which is the more PG of the romance novels.
What is it titled? Actually, it might be best that Emma tells Winter.
Oh no. There were so many good ones, and I can't scroll up to see most of them. We'll say it's pretty tame. I liked the Dungeon Master's Guide for the more PG one.
That's the PG one, the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then the second one is the one that I think we all love the most, How to Train Your Dragonborn. This one, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, if you could, these two you could actually keep out of the library. I've read them. Anyways, here is this one. This one I would like returned. And she's gonna hand over the Animate Dead spellbook.
May I roll an insight just to see how many times I think Emma has read them?
Roll an investigation for me on the book and the pages.
And I will tell you how.
Did I roll a nat 20 on a smart investigation? Yes, I did. Yes, sir, I did.
The spines are well broken. There are even pages where the tops have been folded down.
There's quite a few dog
It's
ears on the
doggies.
second one, the less
Mhm.
Fiji one.
Okay. Cool. And then more importantly, the spell book. I'm just gonna wrap my arms around her and give her a big hug and grab the books. Thank you.
You're welcome. I've read through this one before, although I don't think I yet possess magical capabilities of learning something like this, but I'm sure you can.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You've got the brain for it as Emma pokes your forehead.
That's where I keep it. And then with my downtime over the next few days, can I please spend some time copying out some spells that are in the spell that is in that book?
Absolutely. It is a 3rd level spell, so it'll probably take you 3 nights worth of during your long rest to actually fully copy over Animate Dead.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Winter goes and sits down. Which book do you take a look at first, Winter?
I'm gonna read the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Well, it's
first.
PG. Obviously, it's a bedtime story. Truly,
It's a bedtime story, and then I would like to. I don't really want these paladins to watch me reading a necromancy book, so I'd like to do that as subtly as possible.
Oh no!
There's some bad stuff here in the chat, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Winter slumps into her sleeping bag, holding the book with both arms before just subtly and slowly over the course of about 5 minutes sliding beneath the sleeping bag, and you can now see a small candlelight coming out from the sleeping bag as Winter resides herself to bed for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Exie and Emma, you were to have a conversation as Emma sits back down, dusting off both the real dirt and the imaginary smut.
Just gotta get it off.
A shiver goes up Emma's spine as she sits and looks at Exie.
Prestidigitation, just get it off. I'm filthy. Taking a glance over to see if the paladins will cleanse me with flame.
Xy's got
You love it.
It's a bullet making kit out, of course,
Mhm.
and picks up the ring again. The metal is substantial. It would only require minimal effort.
At this point in time, I don't think it's up to me as long as I could still get in and out of it. It's actually never happened before where I'm going to try and contact both of the entities I serve, but in one night, but I don't even know if it's possible, honestly. We can try and speak with the patron, and I will say this off the rip. Do not accept any bargains she may offer. Do not accept any deals she may throw out. And do not, if she offers you wishes or anything of the sort, do not partake in them. That is my word of warning if we are even able to see her tonight. So you may ask if the ring can be transmuted.
Understood. I do not understand what a wishes is, but I will take your advisory on board.
Let us go try and speak with her.
Lead the way.
We're gonna go off like we did the very first time I spoke with the patron. Far enough away from the group, but still close enough to where it's somewhat safety. You know what I mean?
Maybe about 30 feet away. That's probably about the distance that the fire would start to become dim light, and you'd still be able to see without worry. So, hiding behind a tree, Emma and XC sit near a nearby bush. What are you planning to do?
Ruckus, can you go stay with Ashrin, please?
I'm sorry. Jakey completely derailed me. I'm back to it. I'm not looking at the chat anymore for a little while.
You're all good.
Ruckus kind of pops up and out. Why? I could be here. I could help.
I would prefer you not.
I know her better.
As
honestly.
But you're the only one that stayed.
Yeah, so, I mean, if anything, I could maybe talk to her, convince her to go easy on you. We go way back.
You hate her more than I do.
Oh, absolutely.
I would prefer that you not stay with us. Only because if I had made the wish that I had made to have you here and you are taken away, that is the removal of one of my wishes, so.
Fine. I will go before slumping out of the way and suddenly appearing in a shadow, seeming to bounce, because it's a puppet, across the ground. Ordell, as you are now back towards the fire, you see Ruckus reach into the shadow behind it that it's cast from the fire, and a small stick with a marshmallow is now over the flame. It looks up at you without a word. As Emma and XC sit in the darkness.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just that imagery is beautiful. XC, this is very taxing on me, and we can give this a try.
Uh-oh.
Just know.
There's two of me on screen.
Hey.
Dang, Alex, you've never looked better, let me tell you.
XC, just know this is very taxing on me, and I'm gonna let you do most of the talking, if that's all right.
Understood. You can sleep in tomorrow when I carry you.
Okay. And Emma goes and she takes the ring and sets it on the ground in front of both of them, and she's going to attempt to contact her patron.
Go ahead and roll me a percentile.
89.
Okay. Warlock patrons are obviously easier to reach than cleric patrons, though that's not always better. As XC, you sit nearby Emma, as Emma reaches her hands out, clasps her bony fingers together, seeing the nearby fire, almost creates a light puppet, or shadow puppet, with her hand, creating a small little hole before expanding the shadow outwards. And as Emma's hand reaches upwards, a shadowy hand reaches up to grasp it and slides down onto the ground, and seemingly forming on the shadows beneath your feet, leaves form, creating the eyebrows and a small face that now looks at you both from the ground.
Greetings. I am GB134-XE, autonomous mechanical individual, quarry hunter of Ludroth.
Emerald, darling, have you brought me a sacrifice of metal, not flesh?
Not exactly.
Then how am I to
This
give you
one-
flesh once again?
This one wants to know about transmuting the ring.
Affirmative. I would like to refashion the ring's shape. Does this affect the ring's power at all? It is a simple question.
You want to destroy my ring?
Negative, but I can see you using that word. I wish to refashion
Into
into
what?
a different shape.
What shape?
I pull out a bullet. Spherical.
A shadowy hand reaches up from the ground as if to grab the bullet and take a look at it. Do you
Sure.
give it? The bullet slumps over the face as it seemingly like a wisp of smoke holds it upwards before shoots the bullet back at you. Not literally, but throws it back at you. So you grasp it in the air. Very well. Why don't you do just that? Change my ring into a bullet. In exchange, shoot the bullet into someone for me.
There are questions before this is done, if I may ask.
No. Before the shadow disappears.
It has been confirmed I am allowed to transmutate this shape.
Emma quickly grabs a hold of the ring and holds it. I don't like the way that was phrased, XC. Not on your part, but on hers. You have to understand something about this patron. She is very wily, and there are a lot of words I could use to describe her, but I won't right here, as we had just summoned. She can't
The
be
one
trusted.
word that came to mind for me is insecure.
That is a word. I don't know how I feel about this at the moment. May I have a few nights to at least think about this before? I what I am afraid of, XC, is that you've been asked to shoot this new bullet into a person, and I am afraid what may happen to that person's soul.
Well, if I am shooting this into a person, that person's soul is irrelevant.
It is not, though. Do you know much about souls, XC?
I know that a soul powers my body, but otherwise, it is just a form of energy.
An energy that can be trapped, and not allowed to go where it needs to after death.
Are you saying I am a problem?
I am saying that the bullet idea may be a problem.
But I have an energy soul trapped inside me.
I don't know if it was put there willingly or not, and I cannot say.
Does not compute. It is a soul. It is a piece of energy. It does not have decisions or choice.
That is not necessarily true, XC. You see, for when I die, eventually, my soul will be trapped by the person you just met. And I will not be allowed to go to where my deity or whatever the afterlife brings. I will be trapped there. And I fear that day, XC.
Understood. If that day happens, I will do everything in my power to untrap you.
Emma's gonna give XC a hug for the first time. I think this is the first time Emma's actually hugged another one of the group.
As you hug XC, if you let him XC or her.
As the hug starts to happen, I'm not going to pull away from the hug, but I am going to say on a lowered voice, human contact is not advised. Programming denotes contact other than maintenance of combat is error.
Oh, it's a good thing I'm not a human. And Emma will let go.
As the hug happens, it doesn't sound soft. It sounds like bone on metal. It very much sounds like somebody's ring hitting wood. But though there is not much warmth between the two of you, Emma, you can almost feel the electricity from XC, and XC, you can feel the heat radiating from within Emma's chest. And XC, this may, since your creation, have been the first time someone with warmth has hugged you. Before Emma pulls away. Emma and XC sit in this dim light. Ordell, Ashran, Winter, Ritter, all busy with their own accord. Did not see this hug.
I will give you a few days to consider.
I think I need to speak with my deity tonight and see if I can find any advice.
Understood. Do you wish to be alone?
Yes, please.
Do you wish to maintain hold of the ring?
If you don't mind.
Good luck, and I walk back to the camp.
XC returns. Emma, we'll come back to you in a moment. Before XC returns, during this time that they've been gone, Ashran, you have been kind of holding on to the dagger in your pouch, not even pulling it out to take a look at, but just kind of twiddling the handle and the pommel between your fingers, deciding on what you want to ask it for the night.
I look down at it and was thinking about asking about our safety with this group, but now I'm thinking about what the moss wolf said.
This game is out of hand.
So I'm just gonna ask it like, was the sorry, it wasn't moss wolf, it was
Mosshound.
Mousehound.
Mosshound, not Mousehound.
Sorry.
It's Mouse Rat. It's
That
Chris.
sounds like an awesome band, though.
It's Chris Pratt's band.
So I went to Vegas and I went to Excalibur and Excalibur with the turn whatever. I got this dagger and
Wow, Red.
Whoa, prop!
Look at this mall ninja over
so this
here.
is my prop. Oh yeah. So
That's
this
actually
is
perfect.
take
Whoa.
it. Ah! No.
I'll give you 3 inspiration. Let's do this.
Make up for my 3 GFY I got in the beginning. Let's go.
Please do not do this.
No. But I ask it, can I trust? Is the Mosshound truthful?
As you do so, you make a small cut in the palm of your hand. And as soon as you do so, seemingly grabbing it too late, Ritter reaches over and grasps your hand with the dagger in it, but sees the blood move up into the gem in the pommel of the dagger before looking at you with kind of wide eyes, before you hear in your mind, wheel.
Okay.
What did you just do?
Told you I'm asking for a second opinion.
I could have given you a second opinion. What?
No offense, but you're just human.
Who are you speaking to that you get a second opinion through blood? Emma, you swore to Emma that you didn't do magic.
No, it is not blood magic.
What would you call that?
Regular magic.
Using
Dagger.
if who are you speaking to via dagger magic?
Tell me more about you, and I'll tell you more about me.
What? You could use my blood for your next spell?
No, of course not. Ew.
I don't have a dagger for you to use, so I figured blood might be it.
No, it's my blood, my dagger, my rules. Don't bother me about it. Jesus. It doesn't affect you. I'm good. I'm fine. As blood is dripping from my
Yeah,
hand.
like I'm fine. Is it like as it drips off your hand, it right into the like gem of the dagger?
Fine. I put this very non-conspicuous looking dagger away back.
I know less about you than I thought I might. If that's not blood magic, I would hate to see what, with no offense to your race, the Crimson Elves do consider blood magic.
Now you're just assuming I never told you what I am.
Come on. I lived with the
that's not-
Shadowkai. You're a Crimson.
I start walking away.
I didn't mean offense by it. It's not a bad thing. Winter, on your sleeping bag, a sudden ruffle on the top of it to get your attention, mid-chapter. It's very interrupting.
Just a second.
Stop it. What's wrong?
What? Oh,
Is Ashwin okay? Ritter whispers to you.
I don't know. I've been in here asleep.
She maimed herself with a ornate dagger and took offense to being called a crimson. I didn't think it was an offense to call someone what they were.
Oh, she left. She doesn't live with her family or anything. I guess it's not really up to you to decide what she is. Maybe she doesn't want to be associated with them anymore.
I can understand that. More than most, I can understand that. I promise. I didn't think it meant an offense, just to point out a fact. I will apologize if she thinks that was rude to say so. I'm at a loss here. I thought I saw a cutting and the dagger absorbing blood and.
No, I think that, I mean, I don't really ask people about their personal magic, but I don't think, I think it's the knife. Like I think it's special.
She wasn't lying. It was actually dagger magic, not blood magic. What is dagger magic?
Do I know much about Ash's magic?
Y'all have been together. Have you been trying to hide it from Winter at all, Ashrin?
Not really, but I haven't really told her much about it either. It's just something I do. You know, people like braid their hair. I cut my dagger.
I don't think that I would have explicitly asked her, like, why do you do that? Why are you doing that? But would I understand just from, would I have any understanding based off of
understand that the magic,
kinds of...
that there is some magic going on with the dagger, but she's basically treating it like a magic 8-ball at this point from what you've seen her. Anytime you've been like, should we go to this town? She's been like, yeah, no, I think it's a good idea. Yeah, no, it's a really good idea.
I guess, you know, have you ever heard of people reading tea leaves?
Yes, seems very different, but yeah.
Well, I guess, would you consider the cup or the tea magic?
tea.
See, I'm more of a magic cup kind of person myself. So I guess it's up for interpretation.
This doesn't seem up to interpretation. This seems very not glass half full, half empty. This is there is a magical dagger or there isn't.
Yeah, you could, if you've asked her and she said that the dagger was magical, is there any reason for you to not believe her?
No, I owe her an apology. No, I don't think for the dagger. Was concerned. I wouldn't apologize for a concern, but I would apologize for not wanting to be associated with the Crimson Elves. I've heard bad things. I wouldn't want to be associated with those that I came with. I understand. I just didn't mean it that way. I'm very on edge here in this camp, but I'm sorry.
Oh no, I think if you apologize well enough, it should be fine. Ladies do like flowers. It might be difficult for you to find any out here, but that could be helpful.
I'm not assuming anything if she likes flowers or not. I want facts if she does now at this point.
You'd be safe with flowers, or at least a gift of some description.
I'll try and find her a gift and apologize.
Okay, well, I'm going to go back down here, and you enjoy your night.
You as well. Before, like, another candlelight just appears within the tent to be a magical flame. With that, Ashwin, you walk away for a bit. Is there anything you're wanting to do, or more just go to cool off for a little bit?
Cool off. Probably cool off. Probably step away somewhere, but not too far because it's dangerous.
Okay.
Clean my dagger.
You walk away.
Maybe ponder for a little bit too, but
Yeah, you gotta ponder.
yeah.
You gotta do some pondering. As Emma wants to speak to her god, how are you gonna go about doing this? Pray?
Yeah, it's gonna be a prayer with 2 questions.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a
So-
percentile roll.
So many today. I have.
I
to
have
do
never
this.
had people roll percentiles and not, and like actually get them. And every time this group is like, yeah, what you're supposed to get a 90, right? Is that a 97?
That's a 99.
God. My typical DC for cleric stuff is 90 and above. My typical DC for warlock stuff is 80 and above.
I roll percentiles all the time and they never do good.
Right. As Emma,
I'm not rolling those again.
how do you pray to this god of death?
So I imagine there are some critters or something skittering around in the woods around.
You've been hearing small owls and a few chirps from crickets. You could probably find an owl or some bugs.
I would probably find a cricket.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I'll find a cricket.
Y'all haven't heard it, but I have been having like chat and stuff has heard it, but y'all haven't. There's been foresty noises in the background the whole time.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful. She's gonna get the cricket. She doesn't admire like long painful deaths, so she's gonna make it real quick, and she doesn't want to murder any like of the larger entities like an owl or something like that. So she'll take the cricket and she'll look up to the sky again, and as she does, it's a quick just squish. And that's when she's gonna start reaching out to her deity.
as you hold the cricket in your hand, taking a look at it, squish. What are the questions that you ask?
The first question is, what advice would you offer about transmuting the ring into a bullet?
The second question.
Can you send me proof that you are still alive and well?
You ask about transmuting because you're calling to your clerical deity, correct, Michael?
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You ask about transmuting the bullet. You look down at the fresh death that you have created with the cricket and smear some of the guts and bits off of your thumb, trying to just clean it up as you don't hear any response from your god. And you wipe it quickly off on the heel of your foot. In doing so, like a paint knife along a textured surface, the guts seem to cling to parts of the bone and not to others.
Mm.
And they spell out a word that say, boil it.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
As you now look at the cricket, looking at the words, you wipe it off quickly, recognizing that it is currently listening to you. Michael is hearing your prayers, and you ask for some sort of proof that they are alive. As you look back at your hand, this horrible squished cricket now seemingly pulling itself together like a magnet, legs pulled off in a jumbled mound, a small fleshy ball of guts and insectoid husks turn into a moving, almost slug of undeath.
Mm. I'm going to gently place the slug on the ground. And I have my answer. Thank you.
Ashrin's not here right now. However, Ashrin took a bit of a wander as Emma was praying to their god.
Mm.
Nope, didn't see it. I rolled 4. Got a
Okay.
4. Both Ashrin comes and returns to the circle. Emma eventually also returns, as the whole group is now sitting around the fire. Emma, you look, and Rakus has fallen asleep on Ordell's heel. A noticeable bulge in its belly and a half-eaten marshmallow, probably twice the size of its stomach, is now burnt to a coal on the end of its stick in the fire.
I'm going to gingerly pick Ruckus up and go find XC and back into the ring. But before I guess I do that, I have to give XC back the ring. So I give XC back the ring.
Before you disappear, Emma,
Yes.
are you happy with the location of the ring?
It's a very good spot, XC. It's a very good spot.
I have one other suggestion.
Yes.
You mentioned you can see out of the ring,
I can.
and you mentioned you can talk to me from the ring.
Yes.
XC grabs the ring and then pops it on the back of its head. So this would be like having eyes in the back of my head.
XC, could you do me another favor real quick? I'll be right back. And Emma's going to flitter into the ring and flitter back out. And she holds two probably $50 sized emeralds in her hand, very rounded, beautifully cut. Could you affix one of these emeralds to the front of you? I can see through these almost as well as if I was just standing in front of you looking.
Does the location matter other than front and back?
Preferably somewhere with a good vantage point, I would assume. Almost as if I could see what you see.
Are they directional?
Yes. At least I believe they are. Emma's going to take the one emerald and affix it into her eye socket. Now appearing to have this like large emerald in her eye. And she's going to have it where the faceting, the conical faceting is back towards the base of the eye. And then, of course, the front facet would be up front. Somewhat like this, XC.
Understood. I will set a special design to mount this overnight.
Thank you. It'll help, and that way, if you ever separate from us, I can still see what you see. Which I don't know why I didn't think about this before, to be honest. I guess we
Me
haven't
neither.
talked much.
Understood.
I trust you, XC.
You look like you need rest.
I do. Have a good night, and again, as she puts her hand on your shoulder, thank you for everything.
Vice
As
versa.
she is
Sort of retract it's away from your hand. What you do?
It's almost
As-
like as soon as the hand goes on your shoulder, she's back into the ring.
XC, you now hold the ring in your hand. You were planning on doing some forging and have been given permission to turn this into a bullet. Is that planned for tonight?
No, I did tell Emma that they had up to 3 days to.
Okay,
give me
gotcha.
permission. Dieting, yeah.
Right. With that, unless there's anything else, you're going to get some rest for the night. XC, we're going to tally up for the days traveled and how much metal and scrap you have, how many bullets you'll have towards the end of the journey. Okay.
No rush. I've still got some anyway.
Perfect. Awesome. Unless there's anything else, you all are all going to get some rest for the night and continue on for the next day. Perfect.
Oy. It was a very eventful night.
It definitely was. As you all get some sleep, everybody roll me a perception for the various watches that everybody will be on.
No, I don't think I will.
7.
11.
22.
Perfect.
Somehow in my ring.
As you are all on your watches at night. Winter, what did you roll? Because I see a face.
I rolled a 5.
Okay.
I rolled a 5.
All of you are absolutely certain that you are alone here within the forest. Didn't see a single thing. You're on your watches with your buddy. Winter, you sit with Elijah for a time. Neither of you see anything, but a full night's rest is had, and it's time to get on your merry way, trying to get to Cavity. There's still a long ways to go, and now that an illusion has basically scared the paladins a bit, you're going to walk at a bit more of a hasty pace. So, with that, we're going to skip a few days through the Black Forest. On your 5th day of travel through the forest, there has been lots of talk, lots of talking about where you are, where to keep your head down when you're getting close to the old capital, and why you should avoid that, and why y'all are keeping more to the western side of this area. Elijah says, okay, we're about to go by Windburn. Windburn is not hospitable to skinned folk. Emo, you do just fine. But we're going to take it far to the west. That only means that we're going to come somewhat nearby the Bloodstalks. I would have rather kept further to the north, gone near Crystal Hollow or the Merfolk Falls. And we can do that. If you feel that there needs to be some rest, we can go to the Hollow and the Falls. It will just take us longer. I don't know how long you want to be out here. We're nearing winter and we're headed far north. It's going to start getting cold.
when you say good for people like me, do you mean just undead in general, or
Unwilling.
is it a harsh, unwilling?
We obviously would not be allowed in. You could, maybe Ordell. I would ask that Ordell you please not go, but you might be allowed. Emma, definitely. Possibly Exie, I don't know. We're not very well versed in their cultures, but I am very well versed in the spells they fling to keep us far away from their city.
I'll
So
be
you're-
honest, Jordan. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You're not interested in cleansing them?
They're different. It's live and let live. They have their own sentience now. They're not spreading anything. Unwilling one day will die out as they cannot reproduce and they cannot spread their curse. No offense.
I think very much offense.
Why? I said we live and let live.
No, I know, but you also called them cursed. That's just kind of hateful.
It's undeath. It is a curse.
To be fair, Winter, he is right. We are, but they are, I should say, cursed.
Should all be lucky enough to lie dead in the ground or as ash upon the ground. Never having to be risen to do work past when we were asked to.
There are
Dog gets
positives.
visibly uncomfortable.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, Ordell gets visibly uncomfortable and leaves this conversation, like distanced, like over in the brush.
Elijah, there are benefits to this. Although I did not ask to be brought back, there have been positives, and most of them have taken place within this last month, actually, and a few about 800 years ago.
So,
But in
That's
between
when,
this-
800
that's when
years
she
of
met her
torment.
girlfriend.
He kind of smiles and says, I guess she was ripped away from you, and you've had 800 years of torment in one good month. Sounds like a curse to me.
One could say that the one could say that the curse for the 800 years wasn't from being unwilling. That was poor choices I've made, but we'll leave it at that.
Probably being alive for that long was part of the unwilling. I won't be alive for 800 years. You two, to Ashrin and Winter, won't be alive for 800 years, and you might be a bucket of rust by the end of that 800.
I do not have bucket mode in my repertoire.
That's fair. I don't know what you have. But those are the options that we can take. If you feel that you're unable to go on, I recommend against it, but we can stop near the Merfolk Falls, gather some water, gather some supplies in the nearby city, and then head to Cavity.
I'll be completely honest with the rest of you. As much as I would love to go see people like myself, I won't derail this quest going north if I'm the only one to get entrance, I suppose.
Oh, we definitely would not be going near there. You can go there on your own time when we're done. I'm sorry, but I just can't take you there. Quite literally, I can't. We would go around it, or we just head straight west and skirt the Bloodstocks.
Elijah, this is gonna not directly related to what we're discussing currently, but your flame god are they the one that teach you to be so hateful towards people that are not like you, or is that a choice that you make on your own?
Not hateful to anyone. When have I sounded
Except
hateful?
if they're dead.
Didn't sound hateful. I said that I lived and let lived.
Well, no, but you wanted to kill little goblin creatures.
Yes,
if they were dead.
If they were cursed, they might be attacking us.
But they might not.
If they came up to us and threatened to attack us, then I would kill them.
What if they just came up to you and maybe, like, handed you, like, a small stick of friendship?
It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't come up.
I'm just saying, like, maybe give small goblins with tiny sticks of friendships a chance.
If I see a goblin with his guts spewing about, being undead, how likely is that? I will give it a chance. But if I see that it is marked with the plague, obviously, it has to die. I wouldn't have a choice in the matter.
How can you tell if they're marked with the plague or just regularly totally cool undead?
It's mostly in the mind, but we have, and Elijah pulls out a small pouch that, as he kind of picks it up, you see some dust move through the burlap sack that it's contained in before he puts it back in. We have other ways of detection, but mostly it's an affliction of the mind. They'll never be of the right mind.
Okay. I'm happy to keep going. I don't feel like I need to rest right now.
So, we head through the bloodstocks then, or nearby them at best. I'm hearing no complaints. Settle up, everyone. This will be a rough couple of days. We're going to move fast and we're going to move quick. Do not want to stay near those damned woods any longer than I have to. Let's go. Before... Oh, go ahead.
Before they all start marching off, Emma's gonna go over to Ordell. Ordell, one day can we go visit the Unwilling?
I would like that.
Would like that too.
Also, Emma, I'm sorry for prodding that your deity might not be there. I realize that was quite insensitive.
It's actually okay. I got a sign from them last night. I got actual proof. They're alive. They sent me a sign.
And the creature was wrong.
The creature was wrong.
But why do you still seem upset?
XC has met my patron and wants to convert the ring into a bullet. To which the patron is a little more optimistic. I don't even know if optimistic. A little more excited for, I should say, than I expected. And I'm hesitant about doing it.
Is it what you want?
Honestly, no. But I could see where it would be a benefit. I'm nervous of the outcomes. I'm nervous if this ring is... The first thing the deity says is for XC to shoot someone with it, and my thoughts are very confused about this, and I don't know. I asked my deity last night what I should do, and they told me to boil it. As odd as that is.
Boil the ring or boil what you saw the sign in?
Oh. Emma just looks at the ground and says, "Shit."
Emma, before you,
Winter's laugh.
Before you focus on that, Emma, Do you know the reason why I said everyone should have their own day?
Why is that?
We were all taken from our home, and we didn't have a choice. We have been attacked by raiders. We have met very hostile people, and some of us may eventually out here not have the choice whether we live or die. There are few times where we get a choice. If I can offer the choice to choose what we do for a day, that is what we will do. If you do not feel safe making your home into a new vessel, you have a choice, and you can use that. It will not hurt XE. XE, though cold and metal, XE is kind. XE acts not just because of the wiring. That soul XE has spoken about. There is someone there, and I have a good feeling about them. So trust them.
Thank you so much for these kind words of wisdom. Can you help me find a slug? It's
What?
It's right over here.
Oh, that was like 2 days ago.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Why do you want to find a slug?
No reason. I goof.
Also, do you know anything about... I've been wearing this necklace for 2 days, and I just want to know, like, does it just sit here and look cool? Do you know anything about magic stuff?
Yes, I do. Do we have 10 minutes before we leave out, or are they heading out like right now?
They're gathering their stuff. You could ask for it.
Elijah, could I have 10 minutes?
I just did a whole speech about moving quickly.
Elijah,
10
we're taking 10 minutes.
Thank you, Odell.
If that's what you need to gather your strength, understand it's hard to keep up with me.
Okay, very well. All right, Odell, come here. Come sit with me.
Chill. Elijah, chill.
Elijah, I can teach you this rhyme that I learned if you like, and I'll take him up and teach him like a hand clapping rhyme.
Oh, of course, yeah. I'll teach you a song about the flames. Let's trade. Now, very excited about learning a new shanty of some sort.
Can I make the assumption that Odell is kind of like attuned to this?
Haven't spent any time that you've told me attuning to it. You've just been wearing it.
I mean,
So-
Odell doesn't really know what attuning is, so I'd assumed in wearing it, Odell was playing with it and things, but that wasn't really a question brought up. But I think like whatever attunement was, Odell would have experimented over the 2 days with it.
Okay. Yeah, if you would have been experimenting with it, we'll say, yeah, that you're probably attuned with it.
Cool.
So Emma's gonna have Odell sit down in front of her, and she's gonna take her thumb and place it on your forehead, and then the other and place it on the actual item, and gonna do a 10-minute ritual cast of Identify.
So, Ordell, you're asking Emma
Mhm.
to learn about this object. What does it have on the end of it?
The
What-
object?
Yeah, what's the little spinny circle thing?
It's a little pink comet.
Okay. Make sure you knew. Emma, you spend 10 minutes observing this thing, every now and again twirling it with your finger, really trying to get to the magical essence of it and learning where it came from, what it is, what it does. And as you do so, you begin to feel a connection to it, just like Ordell. And you start to hear a word in your head over and over again. You hear comet, 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 comet. You recall that you haven't heard Ordell say that word since he's put this necklace on. As you look at it, you think that there is some magical connection that will happen with this before your ritual finishes, and you're certain of it, you're positive that the magic ability entuned within this thing is activated by a passphrase. Comet. This thing is and was a comet plucked from the sky by that Mosshound. The leather, its skin, it gave it to you freely, seemingly, actually, positively happy to exchange riddles and words with somebody that means it no harm.
I'm gonna relay some of this information, but before I reveal the is it the command word or whatever it is? Did anyone ever tell you not to accept gifts from the Fae?
I don't have anyone in my life, aside from you all. So name who would tell me that.
Fair statement. In the future, we probably shouldn't accept gifts from the Fae, but I don't believe this to be cursed. There is a command word for it, and it is... I'll spell it out just in case I don't want to accidentally activate it. I don't know exactly what it does, but it is... And then Emma's going to spell out COMDT. That is your command word. That's what activates the magical properties of it.
So all I do is say comet.
As Ordell says comet, suddenly, Ordell, you feel yourself vaulted upwards. Not your actual body, but a projection of yourself vaulted nearly 1,000 feet up in the air, giving you an aerial view of the ground below you. You sit there for maybe a minute, but Emma, as Ordell says, "What, comet?" he falls over, seemingly unconscious on the ground. You see
Emma.
nothing else other than Ordell falling unconscious.
Yeah, Emma just sits there with a concerned face, just looking at Ordell's body.
Is this a projection of Ordell or like an astral projection, like a soul thing?
This is a projection of Ordell, your eyes. You're allowed to see at this height.
Okay.
You
Cool.
can get a good view of the surrounding ground near you, from 1,000 feet up.
Whoa.
Emma's gonna like lightly kick with one of her toes into Ordell, just like Ordell.
XC, I would imagine. Winter, you're busy with the shanties. Ashrin, Ritter, and XC, however, see Ordell lying slumped and ragdoll on the ground.
Emma?
I think he's fine. I think is the key word. I mean, I would check for a pulse, but we all know he doesn't have one.
Well, I thought his heart beats now. No, it didn't. Well, we didn't hear it.
As
Yeah, I said
conversation about his heart in the middle of that. 1 minute later, Ordell, you find yourself in a state of vertigo as your vision plummets 1,000 feet towards the ground in mere seconds. I need a wisdom save from you.
Fair.
Uh-oh.
How's a 7? What does a 7 seem like?
You
Grabo?
are certain you are falling to your death. And so, Ordell returns to consciousness, screaming at the top of his lungs, and arms suddenly,
Ordell,
All
it's okay.
of the paladins draw their blades and look around, seeing what happens. Some of them circling around. Elijah looking over
Oh, this
at
isn't
you.
good. With Emma sitting in front,
Pull out
just
my
like
gun and
with her hands outstretched.
aim it at Emma.
Emma, wait, do not shoot Emma. Emma, this necklace makes me able to fly.
No, it doesn't.
It absolutely does. I was just up in the sky and I could see everything.
You were just laying on the ground unconscious.
No. I was flying as mighty as an eagle, but then I fell.
As Ordell's screams echo out throughout the landscape, you hear a very loud and feel the earth shake a bit beneath your feet before hearing it once again coming from the south in the Black Forest. As we'll stop there for the night. It is 9:59. We'll come back next week, as this was a fun episode. I thoroughly enjoyed all of the things that get people banned from Twitch. It was great.
Violated TOS.
So good. Right. If you haven't entered yet, we'll say this is your last like 10-20 seconds to get your giveaways in for the Life on Mars set by Moomy Menagerie Serenity Made. It's so dang good. So dang
Whoa,
good.
life on Mars? That sounds out of this world, like a comet or asteroid would be.
What? How thematic?
Wow.
How thematic.
Do you guys want to hear? Do you want to hear the song that Winter?
Yes,
was
I want to hear both
Yes.
of your songs. Thank you very much.
It goes, Miss Susie had a play card. Miss Susie had a play card. The play card had a bell. Miss Susie went to heaven. The play card went to hello, operator.
I do remember that one. But not play cards. That's
Plague card.
plague card. What?
Plague.
Oh, a
Plague.
plague
With a G.
card. Oh, that's a Winter
Cart.
made up one.
Plague.
Got it.
Plague card.
Plague cart. I was like, do Australians say placard play card?
No.
Play card. Okay, I'm closing entries.
Close it. Let's see who wins this mighty set, and we
Picking a
will.
winner. That's my bloodkith.
Bless my blood.
Fantastic.
That's my blood kith.
You should
Great.
get an email
Deserving.
shortly. Ooh, that does say email Atlanta. Lesma, I think that you are on the Discord, correct? You can either message me or Drew, and we'll hook you up with Serenity on Discord or via email so that we can get you these amazing Life on Mars dice. Pew, 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 pew. That was awesome.
No.
Good Lord.
Also, the drawings are already up, so if you want to see the story
Ew.
so far, that's why I look down all the time. I'm listening, and
Oh
drawing
my
helps me
God.
focus. It's because I have rat brain, by the way.
I will go check it out right now. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on episode 11. We'll see you next time on Red Wagon Inn. Have a good night.
How to Train Your Dragonborn.